I have made any number of speeches in my life, and I've never really had any trouble with words. But unfortunately, right now, I can't think of a single clever thing to say. All I can think about is my baby. Her name is Jessica Ann, and she is the most beautiful and the gentlest creature that God ever put on this earth. And my husband and I, we love her very dearly. She's only been a member of our family for a very short while, but we miss her very much.
Continue. You don't know Vicky.
Dorian, what are we going to do?
Nothing, Jim.
I had so many things that I wanted to say, and now, when the time comes to say them... Jessica, my little one, if you can hear my voice, I love you, my angel. And you, whoever you are, the person who has my baby, if you can hear my voice, I have something I'd like to say to you. And it's not being said out of anger or rage, but rather it comes from someone who loves the child that you've taken as your own.
I knew she could do it.
Because you haven't made a ransom demand, I have come to believe that you must be desperately wanting to have a child of your own. Believe me when I say that I do understand the heartache that comes from yearning for a child. And I can only pray that you will understand the heartache that comes from losing a child. I want to say to you right now, here on television, if you will only bring my Jessica back, if you will return her to me, there will be no questions asked. There will be no police and no prosecution. From the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you that all I want in this whole wide world right now is to have my baby back. I want my Jessica.
Oh, honey, I don't think I can bear to watch much more of this.
Yeah, I know. Seeing Vicky go through this makes me think twice about going to El Paso right now.
I feel like I could just sit here and sob, but I mustn't do it for Jessica's sake. I am begging anyone out there who has any information as to the whereabouts of my baby to please call WVLE. If you call the number here at the studio, they will put your calls straight through to me. Please, we want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. And I swear to you...
Oh, honey, surely if that kidnapper has any heart at all, this is going to make them return the baby?
No one...
Yeah, I hope so. If they do, I want to be there for it.
So please, just call the number.
Whatever's going on in my life, it is nothing compared to what is going on for my poor sister.
The sooner I get to El Paso, the sooner I can get back here to help.
And me. Please, call the number at the top of your screen. I thank you for your patience and for your understanding, and most of all for caring. You, the person who has my Jessica, I know that you care about her. I know that you have a lot of love to give, and that you very badly need to give it to a child. But please, I beg of you, if you love Jessica, please bring her home.
I didn't take Jessica because I was lonely, Mrs. Buchanan. I took her because Mitch made me do that. Don't you see that?
Please call the number that's on your screen. And as God is my witness, there will be no questions and there will be no arrests. And you will have my undying gratitude and that of my family. That's Jessica's family. Oh, please, I beg of you, give me back my little girl. Please.
Enough is enough. 555 3700. 555 3700. You're not going to suffer any longer because of me, Vicky.
Who are you talking to? I told you not to answer that phone or to talk to anybody. Well, now, who are you talking to?
I was calling the TV station because they put a number on the screen where you could call with
And you're going to
about
tell
the
them
baby.
where to-
Don't yell at me. I don't know where you've been. I didn't know when you were coming back. I ran out of diapers. I ran out of formula. How do I know that you weren't abandoning us?
I am sorry. I am not abandoning you. Now, I had things that I had to take care of. I bought some diapers and some formula for little Jessica. She has everything she needs.
Oh, if you could have seen her.
No.
Vicky. She was so sad. I can't stand it anymore. I can't keep hurting her like this.
I saw the show, too. Now, Allison, you mustn't lose heart because Vicky is going to have her baby back tonight.
Tonight?
Yes.
You found a way to get us back into Landfair without getting caught?
Yes. I think I have a plan that's going to work.
Oh, thank goodness. Believe me, I will do whatever you want.
Good girl.
I can't believe you didn't even talk about the trial. Did she realize how important her testimony is?
Dad, Allison's got some troubles of her own right now. I just didn't feel like pushing her.
Hey, her troubles can't be all that important. Dan,
Dr.
is she
Woltl,
going to be on
call
trial
your
for murder?
No, it's something personal. That's why she's been so hard to reach lately. Look, her mother's been very depressed lately, and Allison has been nursing her in her room.
Well, that explains why she hasn't been around here. Was her mother having any sort of therapy?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, maybe I should go over there.
No, Dad, I don't think it would be a good idea. Look, her mother's been drinking a lot lately, and Allison is very embarrassed about it. So much so that she wouldn't even let me in the room.
That's an awful lot for a young lady to handle herself.
Yeah, I know, and I still don't think it would be a good idea for you to go over there, because you'll embarrass her more. I mean, she already thinks you don't approve of her.
Dan, that's not it at all.
Look, Dad, I know Allison is not the kind of girl you dreamed I'd have, but, I mean, if you'd give her a chance, you'd see what a terrific person she really is, despite her mother's problems and everything else.
Dr. Wallach, please call your service. Dr. Wallach.
I guess you better go. Seems like everybody's got troubles today.
Yeah.
You were magnificent.
Oh, I didn't know if I could finish. I thought I was going to fall apart in the middle.
But you didn't.
You were really wonderful, Mrs. Buchanan. You really were.
Yeah, if you don't mind my saying, I've never seen a braver lady in my life.
Oh, thank you, but I just pray that somebody out there was listening.
If that kidnapper has even a fraction of a human heart, your prayers are going to be answered.
Would you like me to have your car brought around?
If you don't mind, would it be all right if I stayed here and answered the phone?
Of course, we will all stay here. We'll all answer the
No,
phones.
no, Dorian, you've done more than enough. I'll handle the phones, thank you.
But Vicky...
No, it's all right, really. I'd like to do that, okay? I'll be fine.
But I wouldn't feel right leaving you here alone.
No, I'm all right now. Since I got through that, I feel better. I feel much more hopeful. I'll be fine, really.
Well, if you insist.
Yes, I do.
Please sit down and, well, if you need anything at all, just, call me. I'll be at my apartment, all right?
Dorian, thank you. I am eternally indebted to you.
Stop.
I mean it.
No.
Thank you.
Jim. Stay with her, all right? Just in case she needs anything. Yeah.
Hey, ma'am. Anybody ever tell you you were something else, huh?
Tom, what are you doing here?
Well, I knew you'd come through with flying colors, so I came down to applaud.
No
How's that?
applause, please. Oh, Tom.
It's gonna be all right.
But the phone hasn't rung. Why doesn't the phone ring?
But it will. It will. Yeah.
I have to do is pack a few more things. Man, I'm gonna have to run to catch that flash.
Well, you can always catch a later one. No. I wasn't going to do that. Go pack.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Huh? Hello, Adam. It's Tina. Let me talk to Asa. It is urgent. Don't bark at me, Asa. Would you please just listen to me? Look, I couldn't stop Court from wanting to go down to El Paso. He's going to go down there, and he's going to find out that you're behind all this land stuff. And unless, of course, you got a hold of the lawyers and took care of everything like I asked. What do you mean you didn't do it? Asa said, you said you were going to talk to him. You're going to pay him off, do something to keep him from saying who this land was season to. And
Kenny, have you seen my lizard skin boots? Man, I can't seem to find it. What are you doing on the phone? Who are you talking to?
the phone? Oh, the airline.
Oh, yeah? Oh, good idea. Check my reservations. Thanks.
Well, actually, I'm making another reservation. Yeah, see, I decided I can't let you go down to El Paso all by yourself, so I'm going with you.
Hello. Yes, this is Victoria Buchanan. I beg your pardon? Well, I'm very sorry, madam. But I happen to think that the life of my child is more important than your dog.
Is that all?
Oh, I don't believe that.
What was it?
Some woman called to complain because we preempted the veterinarian to talk about missing children and Jessica.
Vicky, there's always one, so forget about that, okay?
I can't. What if everybody turned off their television sets? What if all my faith and all my hope is meaningless?
Oh, listen, I heard your appeal. The whole town heard your appeal. They'll respond. You've got to believe that.
I want to believe that, but right now the world seems a very cold and hostile place. Not just for me, but for Jessica. Oh, Tom, I talk brave, but I'm terrified I've lost her and that I'll never see her again.
Now, Vicky, everybody has a right to a little fear, a little doubt, but you cannot give up hope.
I can't help it.
Listen, I tell you what. You've been here just too long. Let me take you back to Landfair, all right?
No, I'm going to stay right here until I hear something about my baby. On the 1 in a million chance that the kidnapper will call, I'm going to wait.
Allison, there's nothing to fear. You just have to wait until it's dark to make sure that nobody sees you.
Wait, you're coming with me. We're in this together, right?
Oh, of course we are. But my part is to make sure that the coast is clear. And when I'm positive that you won't be seen, I'm going to call you.
Then what?
Well, then you take Jessica, put her in your car, and go directly over to Landfair.
And you'll be waiting for me there.
Well, no, there's no need for me to be there. Now, you just open the terrace door with the key that you used before, put the baby in the library, and go out the same way that you came in.
That's it?
That's it. You see, there's nothing to be afraid of. Now, Jessica will be home with her parents tonight, and nobody will know that you've ever been involved.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds pretty risky. But I guess it's the only way, right?
Of course, there is no other way. Now, where is the wig and the dress?
In that drawer. What do you want those things for?
Well, this is the most important part of the plan. Now, I thought I made that clear.
But I told you I don't want to dress up like Nicky Smith to take the baby back.
It's just a precaution in case somebody sees you.
If somebody sees me, they're going to think that Nicky Smith is back again. No, I don't want to hurt Vicky anymore.
Do you want to hurt yourself? If somebody sees you carrying the baby and sneaking into Landfair...
Oh, I know. They will send me to prison.
Then it is a necessary precaution. In this wig and this dress, you won't be recognized,
I'll
Allison.
be recognized as Nicky Smith. Everybody will think that she's back again.
Allison, I am trying to help you to make up for this horrible sin that you've committed. Now, if you don't want my help, then I will forget about it.
No, I do want your help. I do want it. I just think there's got to be another way.
Well, there isn't. This is the only way. Now, if you want this baby returned to her parents, and if you want to stay out of prison for the rest of your life, you will do exactly what I say. Is that understood?
pastrami, so I bought you both.
Honey, you didn't need to buy me food.
But it was very nice of you. Thank you. In fact, I'm delighted that you're here. It'll be better for me than just sitting around worrying about John.
Why? What's wrong with John?
He's left town on a very dangerous mission.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. DeLito. Yes, I'm sure that your prayers will have an effect on Jessica's safe return. Oh, I certainly hope so. Oh, yes, thank you. I'm sorry, Mrs. DeLito, my husband is signaling me. Yeah. I will, and God bless you, too. Goodbye.
You are the bravest person I know.
But I'm afraid it didn't work.
Honey, if I'd have known you were going to do this, I'd have been here with you.
Well, sweetheart, I didn't really know myself until I was actually on the show.
Well, fortunately, someone had a set on at the office. You were so eloquent, honey, and so affecting. You know, I had to tear myself away from watching you so I could get over here to be with you.
Thank you for coming.
The lowest scum on earth would have to be moved after seeing you today.
I've never felt so desperate in all my life.
I know.
I'm sorry, I know you do. Any response to your column? Of course not, you would have said.
Honey, look. The crew is on a break. How's chances of getting you to get away for a quick sandwich at Barry's? We'll get someone to cover the phones.
That reminds me, Tom said he was going back to the Banner to be there in case any calls came through.
I take it you don't feel much like eating.
Do you know I've had 3 crank calls and Lord knows how many calls from well-wishers. And one woman said that I could think Jessica back by creating a wave of magnetic energy. And another man, he said that I should have a seance to try and raise some benevolent spirits who could help in the search. And do you know that I thought about it? I will try anything. I will believe anything. I'm at my wit's end.
I appreciate everything you're trying to do for me, Mrs. Roberts, but I still don't see why I have to wear this Nikki Smith costume.
We don't have time to talk about it. Now, just get ready.
Look, if you could, I would be glad to get ready if you could just give me one good reason.
I've already told you, I'm trying to save your neck. Isn't that good reason enough? Now, look, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. Now, I'm trying to do what's best for you and that poor little baby.
Well, couldn't I just wear a different disguise?
You will do as you're told. Now, please, don't ask me any more questions.
Will you at least tell me one thing?
I will if I can.
How am I supposed to get Jessica into the house with Clint and Vicky there?
All I'm saying is that we have to present Jamie with a united front.
Darling, I agree with you.
I know that our son has a very big problem.
Our son has used cocaine. That does not make him an addict.
Would you please stop rationalizing everything he does?
Darling, I'm not rationalizing it. I know we have to be firm, and I know I was wrong giving him the money to pay off that ex-con Jeannie Johnson.
I know that it's very hard to say no to Jamie or Kate when they want something, but we have to start saying no.
No, that's going to be my new word. I'm going to practice it. No.
Good.
Meanwhile, I have to call the State Department. Where is he?
I don't know. He's supposed to be back about 4 o'clock. Why don't you make the phone call? I know it's important.
Well, it's important to talk to Jamie, too, darling.
No more recriminations between us, please.
No. You have my word.
We've got to help Jamie out of this mess, but please remind me to be patient with him.
If you'll remind me to be firm.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Go make that phone call.
All right, I will. Ah, he arrives. 20 minutes late. May I remind you, son, whatever your mother tells you right now goes double for me?
Yes, sir.
I'll be back.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Tardiness is not the biggest problem, right?
I guess you could say that.
Oh, come on, sit down. You know that your father and I love you very much, and we do want to help you. Remember that.
I'll do my best.
I seem to have
unearthed yet another little nuance in the never-ending but always surprising Jamie Sanders riddle. I have connected with Jeannie Johnson.
You did?
You're surprised?
Nothing you do surprises me.
Well, she checked out of her hotel room in Hawaii and didn't leave a forwarding address, although she did book a ticket to Paris.
So what's the big deal?
Doesn't that seem like a bit of a coincidence? She was in Hawaii 1 minute and then gone?
What is this obsession with Jeannie Johnson? I told you. She saw me buying some cocaine from that creep Vince Robeson, and she was trying to blackmail me. Why can't you get it through your head? What I was doing, I thought would be the best thing for all of us.
So what kind of dangerous assignment?
I don't really know. But I have the feeling it's going to make Statesville look like a Sunday school.
Well, how long is he going to be gone?
I've no idea. Believe me, I pulled out all the stops trying to get him not to leave. I haven't heard from him, not since he left.
Oh, it's no fun being lonely, is it?
No. No. However, it's not going to do me any good, is it? Sitting around worrying. Work will just have to be my salvation. First food, then work.
But I really love what you've done with your place. How did you go about choosing everything?
Easy. I hired a decorator.
Oh, I gotta tell you something. It was so exciting seeing you in action this afternoon. I mean, the way you make decisions, I mean, you just make it look all so easy, and, well, I know it isn't, but, well, my point is, I'd really love it if I could hang around there from time to time.
Are you interested in a possible career in television?
That is my dream. Oh, just to be connected in some way. I mean, I know I could learn so much from you, and well, it just meant so much to me to be around you at the studio today, and, well, I know I've already said that, but I just can't get over it, and, well, I also know that there's really no possibility in a job or anything, but I'd really love it if I could just talk to you from time to time, or maybe spend a weekend with you if you're feeling lonely or you feel like you need some company. And, am I being pushy?
Honey, I wrote the book on pushy. And in my book, that isn't necessarily a bad thing to be.
Hello. Yes, Vicki Buchanan speaking. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Wyatt. Yes, you called earlier. Of course I remember you. Well, I'm very glad. Thank you. I appreciate your calling back, and I will take it into consideration. Goodbye. Don't ask, please.
Honey, please let me take you home. If a legitimate call comes in, we'll get someone to cover it right away.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
Well, I don't know if anyone else would recognize a legitimate call. I mean, I might sense something that they don't, and a legitimate call doesn't necessarily have to sound legitimate. Maybe
Sweetheart, you are pushing yourself to the breaking point.
I have to. Besides, I told Dorian that I was going to stay here at WVLE and answer every call personally.
Dorian will understand.
I know she will, but I'm staying.
All right, when was the last time I ever talked you into anything? Some company?
Of course. But I think you should go back to the Banner and be there in case a call
Honey,
comes through.
honey.
I mean it. And honest, I'm fine. I really am.
I hope so. I'll see you later at home.
If you keep asking me all these questions, you're only going to make matters worse. Now, don't you worry about the details. I know exactly how to handle Clint.
But what about Vicky? She's bound to come home.
Well, Vicky is another matter entirely.
You mean to tell me you haven't figured out that part of the plan yet?
So you like my apartment, do you?
Oh,
First time I walked in here, I felt at home. Oh, which is pretty weird. I was not used to such luxury. I wasn't exactly born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Do you think you can put up with the rather hazardous side effects of living here, such as television sets exploding, et cetera, et cetera? More specifically, do you think you could put up with me? Because I would love it if you would consider moving in here again for a while.
Yes, 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 yes. Nothing in the world would make me happier.
Wonderful. Then it's settled.
Oh, great. Oh, thank you. And listen, I'm really neat, and I don't play loud music, and I don't smoke, and you won't regret this, I promise.
I'm sure that I won't. So why don't you get over to Mary Lynn's, pack up your stuff. You can move in here tonight.
For weeks now, you have been saying that Vince Robeson was a real estate agent, and you couldn't even remember his name. Your credibility at this point is not very impressive.
My credibility is never impressive where you're concerned. Mom, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know why you're so intent on finding Jeannie What's-Her-Name to get her story.
I am preparing a defense for Dan Woloch, in case you don't remember, and I cannot afford to let anything go that might be of some help.
You can't accept my word is more to the point. You're willing to accept the word of some sleazy ex-con to your own son.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to get like this. I love you. I want to help you. I don't want to hurt you.
Then listen to me. You're getting way off track on this. I mean, Jeannie Johnson is not going to help you out with this, even if you do find her, and I swear I don't know where she is.
Then I'm going to have to believe you, aren't I?
Yes. I don't want Dan to go to prison. You've got to believe that, too.
I do believe that.
I wish I knew a way to help you win this case. Wait a minute. I know Vince. I could make a statement to back up Dan's word. I could swear that Vince admitted to me that he killed Susan Bates.
Oh, thank God she finally stopped crying. Do you think she's really okay?
Yes, she's fine. Will you relax?
Relax. You don't look very relaxed.
Well, I still haven't figured out a way to keep Vicky away from Landfair until it gets dark out.
Wait, I just remembered something.
What?
On the TV show, Vicky said that after the broadcast, she was going to stay behind and take calls personally.
No, that's not good enough. What if she changes her mind?
Oh, my God, why did you suggest this plan in the first place if you didn't have this all figured out?
Will you please shut up? And stop staring at me. Look, I'm doing my best to make this run as smoothly as possible for you. Now, why don't you read a magazine or watch TV?
Fine.
This plan can only work if Vicky is alone.
That's what I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Would you be quiet? I am trying to concentrate.
Oh, my God, Maria. I think I'm going to be sick.
Wait a minute. I've got it.
Clint.
Anything at all?
No, nothing here either?
No, I'm sorry, nothing.
Not even a shred of a lead, Tom? I mean, a phone call, something?
No, I'm afraid not even a phone call.
Silence.
Yep.
That is the worst part of this, Tom. Nothing but a big damn silence.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Clint. I really am sorry.
I can't believe it.
Okay. I called Rafe a while ago. The police are tracking down false lead after false lead. But he is optimistic about it.
Oh, he is he? What happened with that psychic from Philadelphia?
They brought him up to Land Ferry, wandered around all day, and just trying to pick up some vibes. And
no go?
No, nothing. Nothing.
Well, I'm glad I didn't mention it. Or him to Vicky. It would have just gotten her hopes up.
By the way, how's she getting on over there at WVLE?
She's barely hanging on, Tom. I don't know how long she's going to last.
Well,
I just can't believe that this is really happening.
I truly feel for you, buddy, for whatever that's worth.
Sometimes I can't believe that Vicki and I really have a baby. I mean, I can once in a while remember what it felt like to hold her, you know? She was so tiny, and I was so nervous. But it's like it was a dream. Like Jessica was a dream. And what's real is this nightmare. You know, I can really see myself punching somebody out on the street, some stranger on the street. I can see how people suddenly just flip out.
Oh, sure, that's a natural reaction.
Well, I don't like feeling that way. I don't like feeling like I'm somebody else, son. Vicki and I waited one hell of a long time for this baby.
Oh, Clint, I really can't believe there won't be any reaction from Vicky's plea. I mean, all of Lambview must have been watching the show.
There's been a reaction. We've got a lot of telephone calls, people expressing condolences, people offering suggestions, but nothing from the kidnapper. Of course, I never expected to hear anything from the kidnapper anyway, but I was hoping that her appearance on TV might trigger somebody's memory and they'd remember somebody acting funny that had a baby with him, something. Nobody's heard anything, seen anything.
Tell me, how long is Vicky going to be staying over at the TV station?
Probably until somebody locks the place up. You know what keeps going through my mind, Tom?
Oh, what's that?
Is that the reason we haven't had any response is because Jessica is no longer alive.
Now, that's the only way it can work. Do you have everything clear in your mind?
I think so.
No, that's not good enough. If you have questions, ask me now, because once I leave here, that's it.
Oh, my God, Maria, I can't do this.
Oh, Allison, of course you can. Now, tonight marks the beginning of a whole new life for you. Once Jessica is back at Lanphier, everything is going to be just fine. You can put this whole Mitch Lawrence thing behind you. Allison, you're a good person, and you deserve a good life. You don't deserve to have to keep paying for your mistakes over and over. Now, come on, just cheer up.
Thanks, Maria. I just want a chance to start all over again.
Good. Then we're all set.
What about the servants? They have got tons of servants.
The servants are off tonight, and the children are with friends. Well, now what's the matter?
I don't know. I just don't like the idea of Vicky driving there for nothing.
Allison, we can't keep rehashing this.
I don't want her to suffer anymore, that's all.
But tonight the suffering will be over, and that's what you got to keep in mind. Tonight she will have her baby in her arms, and tonight you're going to be free, Allison. Freer than you've been in months now. Are you ready?
Mrs. Buchanan?
Yes.
I've got your baby.
Eye for me to build a case for Dad?
I'm just trying to help.
That is immoral.
Oh, forget it.
No, I will not forget it. For the longest time now, you said that Dan was grasping at straws when he swore that Vince admitted to killing Susan Bates, and we needed someone to corroborate it. You wouldn't say anything. Now, Jamie, which is it? Did he admit to the murder?
No, of course not.
Then it is a lie.
I'm just trying to help Dan get out of this murder rap. You're so sure he's innocent. What difference does it make which way you prove it?
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
If you don't build a good case, he's going to go to jail, right? An innocent man is going to be locked up. Is that justice? You sent Dorian Lord to prison. An innocent woman. Mom, I'm just trying to make you see that this time you've got the power to make sure that true justice is done.
That is not the way the law works. It's built on truth, not on a witness lying.
Mom, the law is not always just.
Who are you to judge the system? Jamie, you take my breath away. Do you honestly think it's not wrong to perjure yourself in court?
You don't think there's any good in me at all,
Yes,
do you?
I do think there's good in you.
No, you don't, and you never have. But Kate? Oh, my God, she can do no wrong. She can... She takes off for weeks, months, years, and she comes back and she's welcomed like the Queen of Persia.
Jamie, you are a very sensitive, intelligent, handsome, charming young man, but your values are all distorted. Putting my personal ethics aside, I cannot take your lie and present it as a truth in a court of law.
As usual, you haven't listened to a word. Mom, all you hear are those lofty moral intonations ringing through your head.
That's not fair. I am listening to you.
My whole life, I've been judged on some impossible scale, and I'm sick and tired of being evaluated and coming up short.
So I'll get my things from the carriage house, and I'll be right back. Oh, do you need anything from the store? Some cookies, maybe?
Don't you dare bring sweets into this house. I can see it 2 weeks, 20 pounds. No. And nothing chocolate, ever.
Okay. Oh,
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, really, I apologize. Your maid said it was all right to come in. I didn't know I was interrupting anything.
That's perfectly all right. Charles, this is Diane Bristol. Diane, this is Charles Sanders.
Hello. I'm sorry that I bumped in you, but it was a pleasure.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Sanders. Dorian, I think I'm going to call Mary Lynn first to make sure that she's home.
Fine. Use the extension in the living room.
Seems like a charming girl.
Yes, she is. Charles,
Hmm.
what is on your mind, as if I didn't know?
It's what I love about you, Dorian. You know how to be direct.
Yes, I always find that the shortest distance between 2 points is a direct line. You want to talk to me about the conversation I had with your wife about Jamie?
Actually, I was thinking more of inviting you out for a drink ever since you interviewed me on your show. And by the way, I had a very good time. You're an artist at making your guests feel at ease.
You didn't come over here to review my show, did you?
Let me use another approach, then. How about the honest one?
Oh, that's a novel idea.
Don't be mad at me.
I'm not mad at you.
Then ask me to sit down.
Sit down.
Thank you. Dorian, I suspect that you suspect that I pressured John into leaving town, and I wanted to let you know that is not the case at all. Actually, he was very anxious to accept that assignment I gave him. Aside from his boyishness, he is a man of great conscience.
I know that.
So I didn't want you to hold that against me.
I'll try not to. Now, do you want to get to the subject of your son?
Yes, I do. Judith tells me, well, that you've been making some rather wild accusations about Jamie and his involvement in the murder of the Bates girl. Well, I'd like to set that record straight. Matter of fact, I'd like to have this off the record, if that's all right. Just parent to parent.
It's fine with me.
All right. Dorian, Janie right now is going through a very rough time. Well, you have a daughter. I don't have to tell you what it's like trying to communicate with the young adults these days. They're not children anymore. You can't order them around. If you can, they won't listen. Anyway, it's come to my attention that Jamie has been using cocaine. Now, he's not addicted to it or anything like that, but that is his connection with Vince Robeson. And his mother and I are very deeply concerned about it.
As well you should be.
And you, Dorian, being the astute and sensitive woman you are, and I don't mean to flatter you, that just happens to be the facts. I'm hoping that you'll be able to understand that as frightening as Jamie's problem is, that's all it is. It is a problem. He is not public enemy number one. What he is an overindulged, certainly, young man who, like too many kids his age, has made a very wrong and extremely dangerous choice. That drug is a killer.
It certainly is.
And I didn't want you to think that Judith and I were taking this thing lightly.
I'm glad to hear it. Because when I was in Statesville prison, I heard some nightmarish stories from the inmates that were there. How easy it is to fall into a life of crime, especially if you become drug addicted. And it doesn't matter whether or not you came from privileged circumstances.
I can vouch for that. I was one of those inmates, too.
Well, that seems hard to believe.
Yes, Charles. Appearances can be very deceiving, can't they?
Apparently so.
Would you mind repeating that, please?
Say it again. I've got your baby. Mrs. Buchanan, are you there?
Yes, of course. Please go on. Hello? Hello?
Leave immediately. Alone. Drive out to Route.
Please, could you speak up?
Drive out on Route 101 to the Green Dragon restaurant. Do you understand me?
Yes, thank you very much.
The restaurant is closed. There's a drugstore next door. Are you following me?
Yes, I am.
There's a parking lot in back of the drugstore. I'll be waiting there for you with your baby.
Is there anything else?
Leave immediately. Alone.
Alone. She said that twice. Is this a joke or is it for real? I don't really have a choice.
That seemed like a very important phone call.
Oh, people can be so cruel.
You mean that was a prank?
Yes.
And you were polite like that? What you slammed down the telephone?
I think I was so shocked. I couldn't believe what the person was saying. I thought I'd heard everything. You know something, Wanda? I can't take any more. I'm going home.
All right, fine. Well, it's Cook's night off. Let me drive you home, and then I'll whip you up something really nice.
Oh, thank you. But I just remembered I have to stop someplace on my way home, so I'm going to be just fine. Bye, darling. Goodbye.
Now we can be sure that Vicky's away from the house, and we can return Jessica without anybody seeing you. Now, tell me again how it goes.
Okay. Exactly 20 minutes before you return to Landfair with Clint, you're going to call me here.
And the phone's going to ring just once.
I immediately leave by the back stairs.
Okay, now, you better take your time driving there.
Okay. When I get there, I park the car in the parking lot behind the servants' quarters. I enter through the terrace door. I leave Jessica in the library, and I drive out before you and Clint return.
That's it.
I don't know why we have to work out this stupid time thing. Why can't I just go to Landfair now?
Because I don't want to leave the baby alone for more than a minute.
Okay.
Allison, use your head.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Now, wait a minute. We forgot the most important detail.
All right. When I get out of Landfair, I turn left, and I take a different road back to town.
Right, and as Clint and I are approaching Landfair, I'm going to get him to stop the car. I'll think of some excuse, because I want to make sure you're not coming over the driveway at the same time.
Oh, my God, look at me. I am shaking.
Okay. One more thing. Do you still have that sedative that you put in Vicky's tea?
Yes?
Well, you better let me have it, just in case something unexpected happens.
Would you excuse me? I'm going to try to call Mary Lynn again.
Yes, of course.
You know, Dorian, actually, we should be very grateful to you.
What for?
Well, if it hadn't been for you, I don't know that we would have confronted Jamie about his drug problem. And thanks to you, we discovered it before he became an addict and before he got into any really serious trouble. You know, we're making a lot of substantial changes in our household. I am planning a long overdue fishing trip with Jamie, just the two of us.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes. And when we get back, he's going to work at the firm. Long hours, responsibilities, and constant supervision. He's really a very, very good-hearted, wonderful young man. And Dorian, I would like it very much. I'd be very grateful if you could give him another chance.
As I said to Judith, I really take no satisfaction in the suspicions that I've had about Jamie. Nothing would make me happier than to see him make a fresh start for himself. In fact, Diane, there's an example. She had a very, very bad childhood, from what I understand, and yet she's managed to surmount all of that, and she's trying to make a new life for herself. She's going to be moving in here with me.
You've asked her to live here? You are some lady.
Thank you. Now, I have another subject I need to discuss with you.
May I try to anticipate that? John.
John, exactly.
Well, we are delighted, both Judith and I, that he has finally met his match.
You're telling me Judith is pleased about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, she wants her brother to be happy. We've never seen him happier than since he's been with you.
I just wish he were here so that we could share that happiness.
I know.
Can I have some more details about this mission that you have sent him on?
Do you have time to have that little drink somewhere?
Do you have time to answer my questions?
I will give you the answers that I am permitted to give you.
Well,
Deal.
nobody's home, but I left a message on her machine, so hopefully she'll be calling back soon.
Marvelous. Would you excuse us? Charles and I are going to be going out for a little while. And I'm going to give you this. Welcome to your new home. Good catch, kid. Bye-bye. See you in a little bit.
Hello, Dorian Moore's residence.
Hello, Diane.
How did you know where I was?
I know everything that goes on in this town, little one.
You can only stay a minute. I don't want you making any trouble for me, all right? Moving in with Dorian is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And not you or anyone else is going to screw this up for me.
You won't get any argument out of me, little one.
I mean it, Jamie. I'm going to make this work for me.
Well, I think this arrangement is going to work out just great for both of us.
Tom,
Maria, what are you doing here so late?
is Clint on?
No, he's down in the city room. Should be up in a few minutes. I'll show you where the room is if you like. I'm going down, huh?
Oh. No, I'll wait here, thanks.
Okay. Well, good night.
Have a nice evening.
Oh,
Say hi to Mary Lynn for me.
Thank you. Well, let's hope we have better news tomorrow. Huh?
Yes,
Good night.
yes, let's hope so. Vicky's already on her way out there. And Clint is bound to be heading home now that he's finished. Maybe I should call Allison right now before he comes out.
God, why hasn't she called yet? It's almost dark out. Oh, come on, Maria.
Sorry, honey. Just stay asleep. Sleep, and I'm going to take you back to your mommy and daddy soon.
Oh, ring. Please, ring.
Mrs. Buchanan,
Yes.
I've got your baby.
Oh, dear Lord, am I being a desperate fool? Maybe I should have called the police. Is there really going to be a woman there with my baby? Oh, please, please, God, please let it be true.
Well, Maria,
Hello, Clint.
how are you?
Oh, I'm well. I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I would drop by.
Oh.
Clint, I saw Vicky on the TV. Have you heard anything?
No, not yet, but she is, she's determined to sit by the phone all night long if necessary, answering the telephone. Just in case the kidnapper calls, she's hoping and praying that he will respond to her plea. Frankly, I got my doubts, but it's not like we have a whole lot else to do.
Yes, Tom told me that she underwent hypnosis to find out if her alternate personality may have been responsible for the kidnapping.
Yes, that was another dead end, and one I feel guilty about.
Why?
Because, Maria, Nikki Smith is gone for good.
But you weren't so convinced of that the other day.
No, and that makes me as desperate as Vicky, doesn't it? Anyway, I figure that we're just going to have to start facing the facts that Jessica may be gone for good.
Oh, Clint, don't say that, please. Not yet. Well, look, are you through? I'd like to buy you dinner.
Well, Marie, I appreciate your support through all this, but the thing is, if you spent dinner with me, you'd just end up being as depressed as I am.
Well, we don't have to talk about it, you know. In fact, I would like to talk to you about Cordero.
Oh. Well, in that case, I suppose we could leave now.
I have to call Allison. Here until whoever it is goes away.
Allison, it's your mother.
So, aren't you going to offer me a seat? Something to drink?
Haven't I made it clear to you that I don't want you here?
Diane, I know you're sore as hell at me. But, baby, there was nothing I could do to help you. You know that.
I'm waiting to hear the words thank you for what I did for you, Jamie.
To say thank you is exactly why I'm here. I'm amazed that you didn't break down and implicate me, and I'm grateful to you for that.
Look, you conned me into this thing, and then no one would believe me, and I just don't understand how you managed not to get caught.
You don't know everything that I've been through, all the lying and the maneuvering. My dad wants me to get into Sanders Chemicals so bad, you know, be chairman of the board one day and all that stuff. Well, I've discovered that I just may be able to handle it. I can connive with the best of them. What's the matter?
You are a jerk.
Wait a minute,
You know,
come on.
you have got everything going for you in your life, and now you're involved with cocaine smuggling and dealing.
Since when did you become so moralistic?
You know, when I first met you, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Oh, pick up a briefcase and no questions asked and take it over to some guy. But now I know, Jamie, and believe me, after being in Statesville, it is no thrill being involved with your little business.
Diane, I'm out of that now, and just like you, I didn't know what I was getting myself into either. My partner turned out to be a real lowlife.
Yeah, he killed Susan Bates, didn't he?
I don't know, maybe.
You are such a liar. You do know.
Hey, I wasn't around when it happened, okay?
Yeah, you're just afraid I'm going to tell Dorian, right?
No, if I thought that, I wouldn't be here. I figured the opposite. I need your help, and you're close to her, so you can help me get her off my back.
Jamie, I told you I don't want anything to do with you, and that still stands. Look, I learned real fast how much trouble you are.
Damn lawyer would stop ducking me and returning some of my messages to be a help.
What lawyer?
Oh, it's just another scene in the Cordero Roberts drama.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Cord's loving wife. Tina found out before she married him he was a Buchanan. And before she married him, she blackmailed me. He should have his inheritance. And also, he should have a tidy sum for all the years he spent living and being deprived of being a true Buchanan.
Well, that makes it easy to understand why Tina would marry a camera-toting cowboy.
Whoa, whoa, no explosion, no telling me what a fool I am?
No. Like you said, it's just another step in the drama. I presume she threatened to tell Clint, and that's why you did it.
You got that right. Now, the secret's out. Cord is suddenly suspicious of the land he inherited from his dead father, because Hal never mentioned it. Now, Cord's got pride. He's investigating. If he finds out the land came from me, he's going to give me my money back.
Huh. Little does he know that his loving wife, Tina, was behind it in the first place.
She came over here begging for me not to tell him. Then she said I got to find a way so Cord never finds out the money came from me. But if that lawyer doesn't call me...
Whoa, wait a minute now, Asa. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to protect Tina, are you? I'm a little confused here.
Oh, Chuck, look. I got one chance in 500 to get my son back. And convince Cord that his grandpa's not the worst man in the world. Now, if Clint Cord find out about this land deal, my chances will be less. And Cord loves Tina. I think he'd die if he knew.
Sounds like you like the boy.
Yes. I like him a lot. Al and Maria brought up a fine boy. Also, I got Tina in a position to do me some favors if need be.
What are you going to tell this lawyer if you get a hold of him?
Well, I'm going to make it worth his while to confirm it that Al Roberts owned the land.
You know, it's hard to figure out how one person can get involved in so many complicated situations and wind up losing in every one of them.
I have an amazing talent, don't I, Chuck?
Gets better by the years. But why don't you concentrate on something you can do something about, like finding a wife?
I am not having two wives at the same time again. And I've got to divorce Pam before I can get another one. I'm not going to do that for a while, because I'm not interested in anybody right now.
Asa, you're interested in Pam. Will you admit it, damn it? You're lonely, you're miserable, and you love her.
Used to love her. Until she started cheating on me with that shyster lawyer. You know what? Hey, they deserve each other. Let her have them. And let's see who's going to be miserable in this life.
Pam?
Pete, what are you doing here? Oh, a client.
No, I'm intercepting you.
Why?
Because I thought maybe you need a little propping up before your visit with Asa.
Oh. Come on, let's sit down and talk for a minute. Oh, good, there's a private spot. Oh, pretty perceptive of you. To tell you the truth, I had a terrible attack of cowardice just as I was walking out the door.
There's another way of handling this, you know, Pam. You can call the servants at the mansion, have them pack your things, and send them over here.
I understand that, Ace's just been hanging around the house. I mean, he hasn't even gone to the office. Nobody's talking to him.
Big deal. Why is nobody talking to him?
I guess I might as well tell you. It's going to be public knowledge soon enough. You remember the big secret I couldn't tell you? Well, it's finally exploded in Ace's face. Are you ready for this? Cordero Roberts is really Maria and Clint's son.
What?
Yeah. Neither Clint or Cord even knew about it till a few days ago. But for months now, I have been the great keeper of the secret. Even tried to manipulate Tina into marrying Richard. I tried to get Cord out of town.
First of all, I'm not sure how you got involved in this, but more important, why didn't Maria tell Clint?
Well, I'm going to tell you something first of all, and it's the reason that I have said it's such disgust for myself. Remember when you found me in the bar and I was drinking, trying to push myself into oblivion? Look, it is a very long story, but the bottom line of it is Asa kept Maria's pregnancy secret for years. He even paid her mother off to get her out of town. God, I feel so sorry for her. She was so young. But then I was the one that helped perpetuate the lie.
You helped him because you were in love with him.
Oh, I don't know. He knew he would use Clint if Clint ever found out the secret, and Clint did. And then what did Clint do? He tried to kill him. He was right. And then he refused to have anything to do with him.
You still feel sorry for that snake, don't you?
No, I don't feel sorry for him. I certainly don't feel like gloating. I can't laugh and go over and say, see, I told you so.
You're lying, Pam.
Maybe you're only lying to yourself, but you're lying. You're going over there because you know Ace is going to be there. And you're going to offer him comfort. And you're hoping that he's going to say, let's work on the marriage, Pam. And you're going to agree. Tell me something, Pam. How far are you going to take this?
Allison, I checked with the desk clerk. I know you're there. Now, you let me in.
Pete, for heaven's sakes, you are miles ahead of me. I haven't even begun to think that far yet.
Sure you have. You're just kidding yourself.
All right. All right, maybe you're right.
About which part?
The man has
feelings, especially about his family, and all of a sudden he doesn't even have one. His son Bo is lost out there somewhere in Vietnam, and his son Drew is off with his mother in Tennessee. Clint has cut him off from Vicky and all the children.
He deserves
All right, I know he deserves it. But I also know how much he is hurting. Oh, I'm sorry. My father just taught me to care about people, and maybe sometimes I just care too much.
No, you don't. Pam, I didn't expect you to be unfeeling towards Asa.
Well, thank you very much. I thought for a moment there you were going to condemn me.
Why? I'm not Asa Buchanan. Do you understand that? I can feel compassion for another human being.
I know you can. That's one of the reasons I happen to care for you, Pete O'Neill. It happens to be one of your more, beautiful qualities.
Which brings us to my other assumption. And that is if Asa asks you to come back and work on the marriage, you'd agree. Oh, boy, I wanted to be wrong about that.
It's very hard for me to let go of values, my beliefs. Lord, 10 years. My whole relationship was based on some kind of a lie and deceit. And then I married Asa when I deceived him. And even now, it's so hard for me to give up those vows.
It'd be hard if you didn't love him.
Oh, I do not love the Asa Buchanan that I've met these last few months. Pete, I still do love Jim Stewart, and I know somewhere in Asa, he's still living there, and I'm waiting for those qualities to come out, the gentleness, the compassion, and the lovingness. Not this kind of bitter, abusive, insecure attitude I get from Asa.
Well, I've never met that man, and I see no evidence that he's about to emerge. I don't know what to say, Pam. Nothing, maybe. Except that I can't see you anymore. I've got to start knowing that we don't have a relationship.
Wait a minute. Why can't we see each other anymore?
Because if you go back to Asa and he asks you to share his bed and you do, it will just tear me up. Do you know how much that would hurt me? And Asa's not going to want you seeing me.
I don't know what's going to happen, Pete. I mean, I don't even know if he wants me to even come in the house. I'm liable to go over there and find out I'm still a very foolish and naive woman. So, might as well get over there and just find out, huh? Where will you be?
I'm going in the dining room. I'm going to get some dinner, and then I'm going home.
Pete, I really do...
Don't say it. Please don't say it.
Damn it, Briggs, how could this happen? Well, have you contacted Stevenson? Uh-huh. Yes, I will. I'll be right here until you get the thing resolved. Damn it, I don't believe it.
Well, what did Briggs say?
Well, we've got a high-tech newspaper here, right? I mean, ultra-computerized right down to the printing of the damn thing. And guess what conked out?
The computer?
No, a little switch. A little relay switch about that big. We may not have a morning edition.
Oh, no. Just what you needed.
Yes, of course. Exactly what I needed. Well, you can just forget about drinks, dinner, or anything else. Just sit down there and I'll try and work my way through this problem. We can talk here.
But there really isn't anything you can do here. Why don't we go to your house where you could be more comfortable?
Maria, that would be like a captain leaving his sinking ship. I have to stay here. But, sit down. Tell me about my son, Cordero.
Well, when you said that, I think my heart stopped.
Yes, Frankly, it seemed a little strange to me to hear it coming out of my own mouth. But I did kind of like the taste of it.
Cord does, too.
So where is my daughter? Where in the hell could Jessica be?
Just a minute, Mom. Allison. Hang on. Sweet pea. Honey, honey, honey. Honey, honey, honey. Shh. Coming. Hi.
Finally.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Oh, I brought some things and some formula. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, darling. Oh, I have missed you so. Oh.
Listen, Mom, let me just remind you that nothing's changed, all right?
Look, listen, I brought you a present. You want to see the present? Look. Your very first teddy bear. Huh? Allison, isn't that cute?
It's cute, Mom. It's real cute. I'll send it with her when I send her to her new family.
That's why I came. I have an idea for you. It is so wonderful you won't dare object.
Oh, the first person that I've met that I can idolize, Jamie. She's my role model. She's glamorous, wealthy, powerful. She's got wit, style. She's beautiful.
You're already beautiful. She can't help you in that
Jamie,
department.
would you just stop it and listen to me? It's very important that you understand. You were very lucky. You were born into a family that has everything, and now I meet a person like Dorian who cares about me and who can teach me things.
Yeah, like how to be a nosy witch.
You're impossible. You don't care how I feel or what I think. You don't care about anybody but yourself.
Diane, that's not true.
Look, then why did it take you so long to try and find me, huh? I mean, I have been out of jail for a while.
I told you I was up to my eyeballs trying to clear myself.
Jamie!
I do care about you, Diane, I do. So, go ahead. What were you saying about Dorian? Come on, please.
She's a very classy woman, and I am incredibly lucky that she's come to care about me.
And you care about her? I mean, Dorian Lord, the woman?
Of course I do. Jamie, if it wasn't for her, I would still be in Statesville.
Yeah, she managed to convince her ex-husband, the DA, and my mother that you're innocent. And it makes me nervous to think that she can convince them both of my guilt.
Oh, here we go again. Right back to you, Jamie. You know, your attention span for someone else is approximately 5 seconds long.
Come on, what's wrong with
Jamie,
you?
I didn't even want to have this conversation in the first place, remember? So why don't you just go?
Diane, I need your help. I'll make it worth your while. I'll hit my grandmother up for some money. That way you don't have to depend on Dorian Lord's generosity.
You have not been listening to one thing I've been saying to you. No, I won't. I have done enough for you. I admire Dorian, and I want her in my life, and you are not going to mess this up for me. Do you understand that?
Okay. I'm sorry. I won't bring it up again. Subject is closed.
Good. Thank you.
Now, can we go out tonight and have some fun?
You don't give up, do you?
I'm just talking dinner, a movie, something like that.
Nope, I don't think so.
I'm gonna get some Coke. And that'll make any old movie or dinner a lot more fun.
Jimmy, you're still in this business?
No, but, you know, I get the urge to do a little. And I'd love for you to join me.
No, just the thought of it gives me the chills. I don't want anything to do with Coke, and I don't want anything to do with you. So just go, please. I don't want Dorian to come home and find you here.
All right, so I've come up empty-handed, huh?
Congratulations, you've gotten the message.
Only for now. But you'll hear from me again. And soon.
Oh, God, am I lost?
Drive out Route 101 to the Green Dragon restaurant.
Don't you understand me?
Yes, thank you very much.
The restaurant is closed. There's a drugstore next door. Are you following me?
Yes, I am.
There's a parking lot in the back of the drugstore. I'll be waiting there for you with your baby.
Maybe I just passed it. Maybe I didn't see it.
Chuck, you may be right that Pamela and Pete haven't been sleeping together. It's just damn difficult for me to believe.
Well, that's your foolish pride going at it again, Asa. But the point is that you have no proof. All you've talked about are suspicions. I just met Pam, but I got a gut feeling she's telling you the truth.
I do, too. Part of me does.
Well, then why don't you do something about it? Call her up. Take her to dinner. Ask her. Let's talk.
Oh, I call her up. I'm sorry, Asa. I got a previous dinner date with Pete O'Neill.
Asa.
No, Chuck. She's going to say it's too late. I've gone too far this time. It's over, kaput.
But you're never going to know till you try.
I don't want to choke down any more pride if she says no. Oh, all right. The other alternative is I'd be miserable and alone.
Go ahead. You can do it. Punch those buttons.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Pamela.
Asa? Hello, Chuck.
Hello, Pam.
Is there any news on Jessica?
Oh, Vicky went on the air to make a plea to the kidnapper. It had me in tears, and I imagine most of the people on the East Coast. As far as I know, the sicko that took the baby wasn't moved.
That's awful. That's awful. I mean, there haven't been any leads at all?
Well, my son is not talking to me. He probably told Vicky to do the same. Wait a minute, why are you here? You're not here to rub it in. My family's not speaking to me.
I most certainly am not.
Asa.
No, Chuck, it's all right. I'm just going to be here for a minute. I came by to tell you I'm just going to go upstairs and pack a few of my belongings, my paintings.
You and O'Neill have your own pad now, honey?
Asa, weren't you going to say something to Pam? Weren't you going to ask her?
I just asked her something, Chuck. I asked if using my home as a warehouse before she and O'Neill find their own place.
Asa, will you just do me a little favor, please? And you have Adam pack all my belongings and send them over to the Burning Inn. Because I don't want to spend another minute in this house. You know, you really are a disgusting man.
Go ahead. If I were you, I'd roll inside that bottle and hide. Hide from what's left of the rest of your life.
Yes, Maria, he talked to me about it.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I told him that I thought he should check it out, investigate it, find out for himself.
And if Asa was behind this inheriting of the land, do you think that Cordero should give the money back?
Absolutely. Asa was just trying to buy him off in advance, and Cord doesn't get bought off.
Well, that's true. I wish I could feel the way you do, but I don't. I can't help it.
Oh, you think that, you think Cord deserves a piece of the wealth because it was denied him so long, huh? Well, I suppose it's kind of rough on you, too. I mean, after all, you did get a piece of it.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about myself. Al left me fairly well off. It's just that your son wants to have a bunch of kids. It's not as though he's making a fabulous living here as a photographer working at the Banner. Not to mention Tina.
Oh, yes, I bet she threw a fit when he told her about it.
Oh, yes. It's a problem because as much as I may dislike Tina, she does make Cord happy, and I just worry because if she loses her happiness, is she going to make his life miserable?
Well, she claims to be in love with him, and I'm doing my damnedest to believe that.
So am I. I mean, I don't think that she's intentionally going to, like, make his life unbearable if he gives the money back, but I'm afraid that it might change their relationship in the long run.
Well, it really isn't our problem, is it? I mean, if he can't live with himself by accepting the money, then the money has to go back. Period.
Boy, he sure inherited your prideful genes.
Yes. How sure? Good, good. Keep me posted.
Briggs?
Yeah. The consultant is 90% sure that he can have it fixed.
Oh, terrific. Then we can get out of here?
Well, we're going to have to wait until they make sure they get it rolling. You keep looking at your watch, Maria.
You noticed?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I keep wondering how long Vicky's going to remain at that station waiting for the phone to ring.
Well, too damn long, most likely. But she's going to have to decide when she's going to leave because she won't listen to me if I try to tell her. Now, let's see. Rafe and the feds are into their computers trying to come up with some criminals that have been known to wear wigs or who might be capable of kidnapping and possibly selling a baby. Every possibility has to be considered here just the same way we had to consider the possibility that it was Nikki Smith who did the kidnapping.
Do you mind if I help myself to some coffee?
No, no, go ahead.
Thanks. What must Allison be thinking? I hope she doesn't panic and do something stupid.
Go to sleep, my little baby, go to sleep. Oh, she's finally asleep. Well, how have you two been getting on?
Oh, great. I haven't been able to go to work, haven't been able to see anybody. It's sort of like being held captive.
You just come over here and sit down and listen to my idea.
Mom, I don't want to hear your idea. I'm not going to change my mind.
Oh, yes, you are. Now, you are dying to have the baby adopted. I'm going to adopt her.
I can't believe this.
It's perfect. You don't want her, and I do, and you are determined to put her up for adoption. I'm willing.
The idea was to give her to a better home.
Well, why? There are fleas on me. I'm not penniless. I'm not senile. Now, come on over here, and let's talk about it.
All right. What about your age?
Well, what about it?
Well, in these years, you don't want to have any responsibilities.
Oh.
You've already raised your own children. You should relax, enjoy yourself.
Oh, what am I supposed to do? Wait around for some old fool to marry? Now, the truth is that I don't have a very full life. I have lots of time.
But the strain, Mom. This baby, she needs constant attention.
That lessens as she gets older.
What about the financial burden?
Well, I can't send her to private schools or buy her designer jeans. Oh, Allison, say yes. Call your lawyer right now and say you've made other arrangements.
I can't make other arrangements. I can't change the ones I've made.
You can. You can say you changed your mind.
No, I've signed the papers.
Tear them up. And listen, if your lawyer gives you a problem, I'll hire one.
Oh, no, Mother, you can't do this.
I will do anything to keep Nancy. Oh, honey, when you brought her to me, I didn't know what a gift you'd given me. And listen, later on, if you want to come live with us, that'll be fun.
No. This baby is going to be raised by another family, and that's just the way it is.
Hi. You had dinner already?
No, I was kind of lost in thought. You weren't gone very long.
Oh, about a minute, if that.
What happened?
Well, let's see. Asa actually accused me of using the mansion for a warehouse. That is, until I moved in with you. I think that was about it.
Man constantly amazes me.
I know it. It was really weird. Pete, I am actually over that man. If he walked in here right this moment, got down on his hands and knees, and begged me to come back, I would not do it. So what are you thinking?
I want to believe you, Pam. See, when you left, I started thinking about going on without you, and it hurt. I want to believe you, but I don't want to be hurt, and I don't want to be naive.
Well, it is true. I mean, take a look at me. Do I look depressed or unhappy? I do not have to care about that man anymore. Pete, the truth is that Jeb Stewart is dead. Now, I may be a very compassionate person, but I am not a masochist.
Let me get this straight. What you're saying is that we can take this relationship deeper.
Yes.
Even to the physical?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh, Pete, come on, it's public.
Right.
Let's just slow down a little bit and take this thing step by step, okay?
Right.
Starting with dinner, I'm starving.
Right.
Right, come on.
If you change your mind...
No, counselor. Counselor. I swear before God and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, from this moment on, I am Mrs. Asa Buchanan, in name only.
Well, the cook says the chili will be ready in 30 minutes.
Who the hell cares?
I do. That's why I went in there to find out.
No, you left here to leave me with my own miserable self.
I left because I was making you more miserable.
I found out something. Something important. If you were a shrink, you'd say it was real important.
Well, what is it?
Olympia.
Olympia?
Olympia's the cause of this whole thing.
What?
Let me tell you something. I see it real clear now. I worshipped Olympia. She was unstable, you know. She had that affair with that Yancey for no reason whatsoever. When I was a young man back then, I never lied, never cheated, never did anything. She had that affair behind my back. Know what she did? And she tells me Bo is not my boy. That, my friend, is why it's so unbearable for me to think of Pamela having an affair. 3 seconds in the room, I was freaked out. Because if she did, I don't care if I was the cause of it driving her away. It does not matter.
Well, I guess I can understand that, but why didn't you tell that to Pam? She came in here all open and everything?
I can't, Chuck. I can't entirely believe that she didn't lie to me.
Asa, you love her.
I loved Olympia. I loved Clint. Thinking I did the right thing by sending his pregnant girlfriend out in the world without him. You claim I rant and I rave and I'm calculating. You know what my trouble is? Every time I get in a mess, is because I let love distract my thinking.
Jamie.
Hey, Ace, that you?
Man, I'm sorry I'm so late.
Yeah, give me a break. I just wanted to make sure I was alone and wasn't setting you up.
Yeah, I read the papers, man. I know you're out of the business. It's real strange selling coke to the guy I used to buy it from.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Except the whole thing gives me the urge to get blasted out of my mind. So, you're gonna give me a break since we're old business buddies?
Sure, Jamie, just like you used to give me one.
Right. Here's the $100. It was supposed to go toward an anniversary present for my parents. They'll have another one next year, right? I trust this stuff is pretty pure. Or should I taste it?
I'm not going to sell you bad stuff, man. I'm not dumb. And besides, I intend to stay in the business a lot longer than you did.
Oh, that was it. I just passed it. The Green Dragon.
So, is this where you do all your business transactions?
Yeah, till they're through renovating the place, then I got to switch. You know, the Green Dragon's a real popular restaurant. What the hell's going on?
Take it easy. It's not the cops.
You set me up!
See, just get lost. I'll take care of this.
Hello, young man.
Is it true, Maria? Is Cord my son?
Yes. Clint, you didn't think that I would make something like that up.
I don't know what to think. In my position, wouldn't you find this a little strange?
Yes. I'm sorry that you didn't know about it all these years.
Why the hell didn't I? I didn't run off. You did. You ran off. How could you do it, Maria? How could you run off, pregnant with my baby, and not tell me?
Stop yelling at me.
I got every right to yell at you. I got every right to snap your neck.
My neck? Why not your father's neck? He's the one who did this to us. He decided our future, Clint. I was a scared 16-year-old kid. What did I know? I trusted my mother, and she was as scared as I was.
Oh, one phone call. One lousy phone call, and I would have come to wherever you were. I would have married you.
Clint, you'll never know, but in some way I'm making up for that betrayal. If I can just get you home, I can give you your daughter. I better call Allison and tell her about the delay.
Hallelujah.
Does that mean it's fixed?
Well, we may be a little late getting on the newsstands, but the crisis is over.
Oh, good. What a relief. So we can leave now?
Well, I'm going to call Vicki and let her know that you're going to join us for dinner at the house.
Oh, no, Clint, I don't want to impose.
No imposition. Damn it, there's no answer. Well, we get to the house and she's not there, I'll just call WVLE and tell her enough is enough.
Bucky, you're looking awfully tired. I'm beginning to worry about you.
Oh, well, the possibility of that newspaper not getting printed tomorrow aged me about 10 years. But I'm going to be just fine now.
I just wish we could have held off telling you about Cordetto until Jessica was found.
Maria, it would have only been something else that would have made us hold off longer. This has been in the dark 20-some-odd years. I'm glad it's finally out in the light. Let's go.
Oh, could I make a quick phone call, may I?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks. Oh, it's busy, but it can wait.
What was that? What do you mean, what was that? The phone rang and then whoever it was must have hung up. Listen, Mom, thanks so much for all of your help, but I think it's time you should leave now.
Wait a minute, we haven't finished.
Yes, we have finished. Now, will you please leave right now?
Are you lost or something?
Is this the only Green Dragon restaurant on Route 101?
The only one, period, but it's closed.
Yes, but there's supposed to be a drugstore next to it.
Well, there's no drugstore around here.
But, I mean, there has to be a drugstore. I'm supposed to meet a woman here.
Well, the restaurant is closed for renovations. I just pulled into the parking lot. I thought I lost something.
But did you see her? I mean, did you see a woman waiting in a car?
Listen,
Is she here?
I better run. I'm
No, please,
sorry.
wait, please! Please, wait! Look, please. Then there's got to be another drugstore somewhere near another restaurant nearby, please. That woman said she was going to meet me here. She has my baby daughter, please.
How dare you speak to me like that? I happen to be your mother.
And I happen to be old enough to make my own decisions. Now, I'm tired of you interfering with this baby.
That one ring on the telephone, that was a signal, wasn't it? You are dying to get rid of me, and when I leave, you'll get rid of Nancy. Well, let me tell you something,
Oh, Mother,
young lady. You are going to physically have to throw me out of here, because I am not leaving until I know exactly what is going on.
Vicky! Vicky! Well, the servants are all off. Kevin and Joey are staying with Delilah. I guess she hasn't gotten back from WVLE yet. Let me see if anybody left us a note.
Oh, Clint, I can't wait until you walk into the library and see that your daughter is home.
Found nothing here but a bunch of junk mail. Come on in the library, I'll fix you a drink.
Okay.
Well, have a seat, make yourself comfortable.
Buchanan,
Yeah,
my baby was...
I just realized that. I remember seeing your picture in the paper. I'm real sorry, but I haven't seen anyone around here with a baby.
But I know that she said the Green Dragon, and I thought she said something about a drugstore next to it.
Well, there's only one Green Dragon restaurant, and as far as I know, there's no drugstore within 5 miles of here. This is a pretty isolated area, you know.
So I've been set up. Some horrible, dreadful person made it all up.
Listen, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say, but I can't help you. I'm late for an appointment. I'm sorry.
Hello! Look, this is Vicky Buchanan. Are you there? Please! Please, are you there? Oh, my God, how can somebody do this? Oh.
What'll it be?
Oh, plain soda, fine. Allison, what happened? Where's Jessica?
I'm going to leave you here for just a moment, Maria, if that'll be okay. Maria?
Yes?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about poor Vicky still waiting for those calls to come in.
Yes. Well, I was just about to say that if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go into the study and use my private line and give her a call at the station, see if she's ready to give up on all this.
That's a good idea.
She must be going through hell if she hasn't had any response by now.
Well, take your time.
Excuse me.
Yeah. What if Allison got caught with the baby? What if she's confessed that I was trying to help her out? Maybe she panicked and ran out with Jessica because I didn't call her when I said I would.
I am through talking. How many times do I have to tell you that? Or do you want me to get the police to physically throw you out?
I do not believe what I'm hearing.
Obviously, or you would be out this door instead of arguing with me.
What's wrong? Answer it. Allison.
I don't feel like talking to anyone, all right?
Well, it's going to waken the baby.
All right, all right. Hello?
Allison,
Yes?
I'm at Landfair. Why isn't Jessica here?
I'm sorry. Something's happened.
You mean we have to make a new plan?
My mother dropped by unexpectedly.
Well, can you get rid of her?
Well, that's turning out to be a little bit more difficult.
Allison, you've got to. Vicky's going to be home in a couple of hours, and if I'm here with Clint, you can't come in through the terrace doors. Now, you've got to get rid of your mother, and don't do anything until I get over there, okay?
All right. I'm sorry.
Now, just stay calm, and I'll do the same.
Okay.
Oh, now what do I do?
That was my date calling, Mother. I'm going to be late because of you.
Fine. I'll babysit.
No, he's coming here.
Oh, really? Why did he have to phone? Why didn't he just knock on the door?
I don't have to explain anything to you. This is none of your business.
I know damn well what that phone call was about. You made a date to deliver her to those adoptive parents tonight, didn't you?
Yes, Mother, I did. And she is going to her new family tonight. And she's going to wake up in her new bed tomorrow.
Of course, the sedative. I forgot all about it.
Well, guess what?
She wouldn't leave.
No, just the opposite. She left the station about two hours ago.
Really?
Yeah, so where in the hell could she be? Do I have to start worrying about my wife now as well as my daughter?
Don't be silly. She's a grown woman.
Silly? I've had a crisis around here about every 7.5 minutes. I'm being silly?
Yes, you are.
And yelling at you makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Bucky, if I were Vicky sitting for hours and not getting the call that I so desperately wanted, I don't think I would want to come running home to the same empty nursery.
Yeah. And she probably figures that I would point out that nothing came from the telecast. And then we'll sit around staring at each other all night. Both of us being very careful to avoid the subject that both of us are afraid to talk about, namely that we will probably never, ever see our baby again.
Now, you stop saying that. I told you before, I have a very strong feeling that your baby is going to be back.
Do me a favor, will you?
Yes, anything.
Tell me about Cord when he was a baby.
Now?
Yes, now, why not? It's either that or think awful things about Jessica or think about and worry about Vicky being someplace and being in so much pain that she can't bear to come home and face me.
But you really have got to let go of some of this tension that you've got all bottled up. I'm sorry. I'm not doing very much to help you get over your problem.
No, but you could, Maria. I just told you that I would like to hear about Cord when he was a baby.
It's just that I feel so guilty.
Well, don't. Don't. It's not your fault. It's my father's fault and your mother's fault that I missed all those years and I missed all those little moments. And it looks like I stand a very good chance of missing those moments again with my daughter. So would you just please share some of those memories with me?
All right. All right, I will.
You must have a lot of photographs from years back.
Oh, I do. And, you know, you and Cord ought to sit down one day and look them over.
I'd like that, yeah.
Oh, in fact, I have a picture in my wallet. It's an old one of Cord. You know, he looked so much like you back then. I think that's why I've kept it with me for so long. I know it's here. Ah.
Little rascal does look like me, doesn't he? At least the way I looked when I was a few years younger.
Yes. Yes.
Start with day one, will you, Maria? I mean, all those little memorable events, you know? Maybe if you share that with me, you know, I can kind of, well, experience them through you, you know, and maybe feel like I was a little part of that
long-lost past, you know?
I mean, can you imagine? Something you gave birth to just gone.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mary Lynn, I never gave much thought about having babies and being a mother.
Really?
I think about it a lot, actually. Is that all you want in life? Just to get married and have kids? That's it?
I'm not saying that's all I want, but it's certainly the most important thing.
Oh, I don't know. I can't help thinking that there's got to be more than that. And, well, I guess we just come from different backgrounds.
Yeah. Diane, do you think you could ever love a man so much that if something ever happened to him, you'd feel no one could ever take his place? Sorry. I guess I'm asking you a question I ask myself all the time.
Well, no, it's just that I'm really not sure what you're talking about.
My father. He can't bear to talk about my mother at all. I remember as a kid wondering if I'd been hatched or dropped off by a spaceship. Diane, I'm not kidding around.
I'm sorry.
Look, maybe I shouldn't admit it. It's stupid
No.
anyway.
Listen, I'm listening. Tell me.
He won't talk about her. He doesn't even have a picture of her. The subject of my mother has always been too difficult for him to deal with. And I understand, at least now that I'm a little older, how the pain was so great that he just couldn't deal with it. But sometimes, it's like I never had a mother at all.
Well, Mary Lynn, I know that you never knew her or anything like that.
She's not just a total stranger. She's a blank spot. And my father, he wants to keep her that way.
Wow. Gee, I don't really know what to say, except that, well, it must be pretty rough.
Awful. And whenever I get up just enough courage to really question him about her, I get about 5 seconds into it when this look crosses his face. I remember once in El Paso, when I first got my driver's license. I was out with 4 of my girlfriends, and we got stuck on the railroad crossing. And there was this train coming at us.
Jeez.
But there was this moment when I looked at the kids in the car, and I saw the same expression that my father has whenever I bring up my mother. Like a train is speeding towards him at 90 miles an hour, and if I continue to question him, he'll be destroyed.
That's a pretty frightening image. Excuse me. Dorian Law's residence.
Yo, Cinderella. Prince Charming here.
I'm not interested in your charms.
Come on. Diane, I want you to meet me in my room at the Vernon Inn.
I thought you were living at home.
Yeah, as far as the parents are concerned, but I'm keeping my room. And I want you to come and see me.
I want nothing to do with you. I thought I made that very clear to you a few hours ago. Now, have you forgotten?
No, I thought maybe you just changed your mind by now.
But you thought wrong. Look, I got company. Goodbye.
Who was that?
Oh, just the jerk I met. Thinks he's Don Juan or something. Keeps hassling me. He's such a slime. I hope he doesn't show up here. Dorian would die.
I couldn't take my eyes off of him for a second. I mean, he managed to get into everything that he shouldn't, and he was so fast. Al and I used to make these great jokes about entering him into a crawling contest.
Yeah, I can just picture him. Zooming around on all fours, droopy diapers and all.
Yeah, that's him, all right. Yeah, he was such a curious little kid. So adventurous and very independent. And in the stores, he used to make me crazy. He would just walk ahead, not look back, couldn't care less if Ma or Pa was behind him. Oh, yeah, I actually lost him one time in this department store. I panicked. I mean, I was positive that somebody just picked him up and took him away. Clint, how insensitive of me. I'm so sorry.
No. I haven't forgotten that there's a real world out there, Marie. Well, obviously, you found him, right?
Yeah. He was found in the shoe department, and by the time I got to him, he couldn't have cared less. He was ready to spend the whole day there. He just looked at me all smiled and said, "Hey, Ma, no problem."
I guess he carried those traits with him right into manhood, huh?
Isn't that the truth? Oh, these past few months, he's been in so much danger. I just wish that I could have squelched some of that spirit. Bucky, I think I'm going to leave you alone and let you take a nap.
Oh, I'm a little sleepy, Maria, but I'm not sure I can nap at all.
I think if I leave you alone, you could, and you certainly need it. I know that you and Vicky must not be sleeping very well.
No, actually, we get up several times a night. Check on Kevin and Joey, and then wander into the nursery, hoping and praying that we're just gonna find Jessica back in her crib. Anyway, when Vicky gets back tonight, we're just gonna have to sit down and deal with the issue and face the fact that there's a very good possibility that Jessica is out of our life forever. And
Clint, when I leave here, I want you to pray very hard for a miracle, and who knows, maybe it'll come true. Bye.
thank you for sharing your memories with me.
Oh, anytime. And think about getting a record one day and looking at the photo album.
I'd like that.
Okay.
You take care, Maria.
Yeah, and you get some rest. Bye.
Bye.
If you're not allowed to meet these people, how do you know that they'll be good parents?
The lawyers assured me that they are.
Oh, honey, I have known people who couldn't conceive children, and that was wonderful because they'd have made lousy parents.
Oh, Mom, you're making this so difficult. How can I get through to you?
It's not difficult for you at all, is it? You are emotionally unattached to that baby.
Because I have to be.
Oh, honey, please. Please, Allison. If you love me, let me adopt her.
Oh, God, Mom, don't put it on those terms. Just because I don't want you to adopt her doesn't mean that I don't love you.
All right? I give up. You see, I have to leave now, honey. And maybe I won't see you for a while. But I'm going to get a lawyer. And we're going to take your mother to court over this. I love you very much. And I'm just sorry she doesn't. And I hope God forgives her for this one day because I'm
You wanted a more romantic wedding present. Honey, I got you another one.
No, look, it's just that in 9 months, I would enjoy a horse more.
I mean, what is with this 9 months business? I mean, that's in the dead of winter. It's in the dead of winter. I don't get it. You're not being totally honest with me. You're just trying to keep from hurting my feelings.
Okay, will you stop? Stop thinking about horses for a minute. Okay, listen to me now. 9 months, okay? What happens to a person in 9 months? A woman in 9 months. I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a baby, darling. Did you hear me?
We're going to have a little Buchanan, boy or girl, yours and mine.
Honey, you wouldn't tease a fellow about something like
Oh,
this.
no, sweetheart. I'm going to have your baby.
I'm speechless.
Oh, my sweetheart.
I gave up even hoping. I mean, you haven't gotten pregnant after all these years.
You know what had happened? It must have happened at the Waterside Inn that night that you brought me back from Mickey.
A baby? Clint Buchanan is going to have a baby.
Hello, my beauty. Are you as happy to see me as I am to see you? You are.
Sweetheart, we've done some things wrong, and we've done some things right. This is the rightest thing we've ever done.
And we did it together from start to finish.
You did all the hard stuff.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you.
You had Dr. Balsam.
No, I had you. And that made all the difference. Here you go, Daddy.
What if I drop her?
Oh, honey, you're not going to drop her. Come on, you have to start practicing sometime. Now, you hold her head. There you go. Go to your daddy. Got her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Please, God. We need a miracle. Just this one time. Give us his miracle.
I have to pull myself together now. And then I have to tell Clint what I did. And then we finally have to face this. We cannot go on believing in something that, dear Lord, I don't think will happen. Somehow we have to accept that Jessica is gone. Somehow. I don't know how, though. We have to start living, going on, and finding some peace with this horror. It might take years to learn how, but we have to start. And we have to start tonight.
Oh, thank God you're finally here. You have no idea what I've been through with my mother. She loves this baby so much she wants to adopt her.
Allison,
herself.
I am sorry that I can't discuss this right now. I put the sedative in Clint's drink, but it seemed to take so long before it had any effect.
Well, how much did you give him?
Well, I don't know. I just poured a little bit in, and, well, he should be asleep by now. I just don't know how long it's going to last.
Oh, maybe we should cancel the plans for tonight.
It's tonight or never. Vicky will never fall for another trick like this, and Clint is ready to give up. I mean, he seems to be giving up all faith. Oh, Allison, how did you ever do this?
I know, I'm sorry.
All right, just put on the wig, and let's get going.
We're just going to assume that he's asleep?
Yes, we're going to have to do that. Now, I'm going to drive you over to the house, and I'll park in the back. You take Jessica into the house, go through the terrace doors, the same way you took her out.
And then leave her right beside Clint and race back to your car.
Right. And then we'll stop and call him to wake him up so he knows that she's at home. Jessica, you're going home. Home to your mommy and daddy.
I checked. Vicky was not at home.
Tom, I think you're making too much out of this.
I've been trying to convince myself of that, Rafe.
Yeah, but if Clint hasn't panicked over this yet...
I don't think there's enough of that man left to panic.
Yeah, but why are you so sure about this?
Well, it's a gut instinct. Look, what if some Looney Tune phoned in and pretended to have the baby? And Vicky jumped in her car and went chasing out to see them somewhere we don't know where she is, huh?
If that sick scenario is true, then I imagine that she'd wait, finally give up, and then drive home.
Not necessarily so. What if she was so emotionally upset she couldn't drive, huh? All right, here, I'll give you another one. What if she was taken? Another kidnapping. Now, how about that? And Clint gets the ransom
No,
demand.
just slow down, Tom.
Hey,
Come
well,
on.
Rafe, that's a sick world out there. You know that as well as I do. Come on, huh?
Are you telling me I should put out a general bulletin because you have a strong instinct?
Look, no, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you your job. It isn't that. But think about this, will you? Well, let's say, for instance, I'm right, huh? And we sit here and we don't do anything. Now, come on, Rafe. Will you ever be able to forgive yourself, huh? Will you? Come on.
Okay. Put out an APB for Vicky's car, and I'll assign a patrol car to cruise the vicinity of Landfair without alarming Clint. Tell him to keep an eye out to see if she drives in.
You are a good man. You just qualified for seeing to it.
Yeah, that and a good tongue lashing from Captain Moore if he finds out about this.
Okay. How are you holding up, Dan?
Oh, can you believe it? Tomorrow I go on trial for murder. Me, Dan Warlick.
Yes, I know.
I mean, for the murder of a woman I knew once, met once in my life. It's also bizarre. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
How about a hot meal instead?
Okay, why not? It'll give me something to do.
Could I interest you in a special?
Sure.
Good job. Teach, can I have one special, and I mean a real special that's for Dan? Okay, Dan, what about this, Judith Sanders, your lawyer? How does she feel?
She seems confident. I don't know. Just comes down to my faith in her ability. You know how she convinced the jury that Dorian killed Mitch Lawrence without provocation? Yes. Well, she's got to convince them that I had no provocation whatsoever to kill.
And good, solid evidence?
All against me. I mean, it's not solid. It sounds good. But if it sounds good to the jury, I'm finished.
What about your little girlfriend, Allison? Now, she's being supportive, I hope.
I don't know what's happened to her. She's dropped out of sight. She doesn't go to work. She hasn't called me.
How come?
Her mother's got a drinking problem, and she showed up on her doorstep. But it's been a long time. I should have heard from her by now.
Wait a second. Look, she is the key in your defense now, isn't she?
Yeah. I hope she takes care of her mother so she can concentrate on that trial tomorrow.
I think that you should go over there right now, and instead of my feeding you the hot meal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get two specials to go. You go over there to
That's
her.
a
You
good
talk to get her
idea.
talking about
That's
her
a
mother
good
and everything,
idea.
and then let her get it out, okay?
I didn't want to interfere, but her mother should be
TJ,
gone by now.
TJ, would you cancel the special, make it two specials to go, and that will be good for you and be good for
Okay, now
Allison,
you're going to be
right?
at the trial tomorrow?
Oh, please, my dear, you can bet your buttons on that. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be holding
All
your
right.
dad's hand every moment of the time.
You know,
believe me.
sometimes I think he's more upset about this than I am,
Well,
if
yes.
that's possible. Are you
Yes.
expecting someone?
No, I'm just wondering if Vicky got home yet.
Jamie.
Hey, did you miss me? Take it easy. Everything is fine.
Everything is not fine. You're coked up, aren't you?
Yeah, do you want some?
No, I don't want any of that stuff. It's dangerous, it can kill you, and I want you to go on home. Dorian could be here any minute.
Dorian. What's the big deal? What can she do? If she comes in, I can convince her of anything.
You know, you think you can do anything because of the drug, but anybody can see you are coked out of your mind.
Be serious. I'm just trying to have some fun.
You know, you're just going to convince Dorian even more that you were a part of that crack ring.
I can convince her of anything I want.
Oh, gee.
Now, let's talk about how you're going to help me out.
Let's talk about how you are going to walk out.
Baby, I didn't think you cared anymore. Now, why don't you join me with some party treats, and I'm sure we can have a great time.
God, you are just determined to louse up my life just as much as yours. Now, Doreen has no idea that I ever knew you, and I don't want her to know. And I cannot explain your being here. So please, please, please go home. She is due home any minute now, and just, I am begging you, leave.
Okay, it's in motion.
Thanks, Rafe. I appreciate it.
For Vicky's sake, I sure hope you're wrong.
So do I. Well, how's that delightful little daughter of yours, huh?
Oh, she's terrific. I haven't seen a whole lot of her, though, or my beautiful bride since this whole thing started.
I'll bet. I understand my nephews, Joey and Kevin, are staying with you.
That's right. Ordinarily, they'd be with Asa, but I presume that you know Asa's been given the boot.
Oh, as soon as Clint gets Jessica back, he'll soften up in his old man.
Yeah, well, don't count on it, Tom. As a member of the family, I've been witness to those two in their wars over the years. I don't think Clint's ever going to forgive Asa for this one. And if they don't get Jessica back, it's the whole world they'll never forgive, including me. It'll be tough.
Garrison, what is going on here? Mrs. Buchanan is missing now?
Well, sort of.
Sort of. What the hell does that mean?
I see,
Dennison.
Yeah, I started this one, Captain. You know that Clint's wife was on television, right?
Yes, I heard all about it.
Yeah, well, she left 4 hours ago. Nobody's heard from her, not even Clint.
Meaning what?
Well, I got this sort of feeling, you know, that maybe she picked up on a fake call and...
Oh, that's a feeling? Come on, Garrison.
Captain, I just told the force to keep their eye out for Vicky's car. I'm not sending the whole fleet out looking for her. Not yet, anyway.
And dispatch the car to Landfair.
Well, I figure we should canvass the area for her, or in case the appeal did move the kidnapper to bring the baby back. Who knows?
Well, I still suspect Nikki Smith is a suspect. Now, she took that baby. Now, if Mrs. Buchanan is missing, I'd sure like to know what part of her personality is controlling her mind now.
Excuse me, Captain. I don't want to argue with you, but Nikki Smith no longer exists.
Clint? So wired right now, I'd laugh in your face. You don't know Dorian.
I know she's out to get me. Isn't that enough?
Dorian doesn't get people, she helps people. Like Dan.
How about talking her into helping me by getting her off my case?
You need help, all right, but not from me. And I want you to go, Jamie, now.
Why, Diane, is that any way to talk to an old friend?
Yeah, I'm in the den. Oh, whatever I may think of the rest of his family. Charles Sanders has a certain charm.
Allison. Allison, come on, Wanda packed us some food. Open up. You can sit down, munch out. You can tell me what's really going on. Allison.
Where are you, Allison? It shouldn't have taken this long. That sedative I gave Clint won't last forever. I hope he doesn't wake up before she puts the baby back.
Clint? Darling?
Jessica! Clint, wake up! Clint, wake up! Jessica's home! Jessica, my baby!
Oh, Vicky, sweetheart.
My baby!
Vicky, sweetheart.
Look, darling, she's home. She's Oh, you woke up, huh?
It can't be
What's
Jessica.
the matter? Look, darling, our baby's home. Oh, my baby, my sweetheart.
Where did you
And I'll
find her,
never-
huh?
Me? I didn't find her. She was lying in the bassinet when I walked in here. Didn't you find her?
Oh, Jessica.
That's a girl. Jessica.
Honey, I didn't find her.
You didn't?
No, I fell asleep on a couch, I guess, waiting for you.
What?
But I don't understand how I was sleeping.
Oh,
Honey,
sweetheart.
did you come in through the terrace?
No, honey, I came in through the front door. I can't believe it, my baby. My baby's home. And you're fine, aren't you? You're just fine.
And whoever brought the baby back must have come in through the terrace. But sweetheart, how did I sleep through it all?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? The important thing and all that matters now is that she's home. She's back. My sweetheart.
See, I had one drink with Maria, but after she left, I was going to wait up for you. Now, how did I fall into such a sound sleep?
Who cares, darling? We have our daughter back. Just look at her.
She is beautiful.
And she's home. She's here. She's home. Oh, my sweetheart.
Here.
Dorian, I can explain.
Mrs. Lord, I'm afraid I insisted that, I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Diane.
Yes, that Diane let me wait here. I told her I needed to see you.
What about?
I understand you were with my father tonight. I'm also aware you've been spreading gossip about me all over town.
I've just been trying to open certain people's eyes to what is going on.
If you have something to say to me, why not say it to my face, instead of sneaking to my parents?
This may come as a shock to you, Jamie, but your father and I have other things to talk about besides you.
I told you, Mr. Sanders, that Dorian does not spread lies behind people's backs. Now, why don't you go?
Not until I find out what she's been saying to my parents. Don't try to deny it. I know you're out to get me.
I've simply been telling the truth as I know it. I allow other people to draw their conclusions.
And what exactly do you know to be the truth?
Do you really want to know, Jamie? All right, brace yourself. I know that you were seen in the company many times of a well-known drug dealer named Vince Roberson.
Guilty by association? Come on, I may have hung around with a few of the wrong people. That hardly makes me one of them.
What about Jeannie Johnson? Was she one of the wrong people? I myself saw you hanging around her at the Waterside Inn.
Since when is trying to pick up a pretty girl a crime?
It's not. But trying to blackmail a pretty girl into leaving town before she can implicate you in yet another crime is.
I hope you can back up those words.
If I find Jeannie Johnson, I'll be able to back up every word. I'll even be able to involve you in the murder of Susan Bates.
I thought you said the lady was smart. Smart people don't make accusations they can't possibly prove.
Don't underestimate her.
Oh, I don't think he underestimates me any more than I underestimate him.
I was raised to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if you keep trying to create trouble where there isn't any, there is such a thing as slander, you know.
There's also such a thing as unmitigated gall. You have it, I don't like it, and you can take it with you right out the door.
I've tried to be reasonable. But some people just have to learn the hard way. Good night, Mrs. Lord.
Dorian, I tried to tell him that he had to call first and then he couldn't.
Never mind, Diane. I saw that look he just gave you. What did the little reptile really want?
Grace, let's get out of here. Did you put the baby in a safe place? Yes, I put her in the library where Clint was sleeping. Then what are you so upset about? Vicky, she came in just as I was leaving Jessica. Do you think she saw you? I don't know. I don't think so. But it's not going to matter much if somebody sees us and calls the police. Please, let's just get out of here.
All right, I'll take you back to the waterside. And I want you to stay there until you hear from me.
He insisted on talking to you, and I told him that he had to call
There's
first.
no need to pretend with me, dear. I know all about Jamie Sanders.
You do?
Yes. He has a certain slimy charm. I'm sure he took advantage of your understanding nature.
Dory and I had no idea that you had that much dislike for him.
I more than dislike him. I distrust him more than I've ever distrusted anything on two legs.
Is he really all that bad?
Does that surprise you? Especially when he gets that knowing look on his face.
What knowing look?
Come on, Diane. I saw the smile he gave you on his way out the door.
Well, that didn't mean anything.
Baby, I am not accusing you of anything except being young and impressionable. Jamie Sanders has a nice smile. Behind it, though, he has very sharp teeth.
You seem to be very sure about that.
Sure. If you doubt it, why don't you talk to Danny Wolek? They used to be bosom buddies. Look where it's gotten Dan.
Then you think Jamie is responsible for Dan being accused of murder?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Jamie is smooth, he's charming, and he's as deadly as a puff adder. I wouldn't get involved with him if I were you.
No, I won't. I won't. Although he could be telling the truth. I mean, it may look like he's guilty, but maybe he's not. I mean, he's a rich guy, and, I mean, he really wouldn't have any business getting messed up with Susan Bates's murder.
Since when has wealth been a guarantee of virtue? I'm very surprised to hear you defending him.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't even know the guy. I just met him.
Take my word for it. He's nothing but trouble.
Okay. You know best. I'll make sure that I never have anything to do with Jamie Sanders.
Good thinking.
Emma, I know my... Dorian, I'm sorry it's so late. I wouldn't barge in on you, but this is rather important that I talk to you.
Larry, this is Diane Bristol. Diane, this is Larry Wolek, Dan's father.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you.
It's... Diane is my new, I guess you would call it roommate. We're,
Listen, that's fine. I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't even know if I should involve you with this, Dorian, but frankly, you're about the only person I know who can help me. Maybe even keep Dan out of jail.
Judith, but I'm sorry. The evidence dictates that I prosecute Dan to the fullest extent of the law.
All right, Herb, if you won't drop the charges, then at least let my client plead to a lesser charge.
Wait, is this your way of telling me you're not prepared to go to trial tomorrow?
No, it is not, but I'm wondering what's more important, altering your carefully prepared case or making sure Dan Wolek is treated
You
fairly.
just give me some concrete proof why the Commonwealth should reduce the charge against Dan. I'll be more than happy to consider it.
It is a matter of instinct. You told me a long time ago that you respected my work.
I do.
That I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I know that boy is innocent.
You call that proof? If I dared to offer instinct as proof when you were prosecuting Dorian, you would have had me for lunch.
It's because I was so wrong about Dorian. I don't want you to make the same mistake. Don't let circumstantial evidence blind you from the truth.
You honestly believe that I am looking forward to prosecuting Dan Wolek for murder? Come on. Here. I've known his father for years. I've known Dan since he was a boy.
Fine, then give him reasonable doubt.
I have. Bent over backwards to avoid this trial, but the evidence against him is overwhelming.
Herb, do you remember the eve of Dorian's trial when you talked about the hellish night that all prosecutors are dread when they feel they might have put an innocent person in prison?
Yeah, what goes with the territory, Judith? I can't neglect my duty.
What about your duty to an unsophisticated young man? Herb, no matter what the jury decides, you can't let him go to Statesville.
It won't be up to me.
You can intercede for him. He won't last a night in that place. Please, Herb, I'm not asking for special favors. I'm asking for what's called the quality of mercy.
Judith, I give you my word. If Dan is convicted, I'll ask for leniency.
Thank you.
But make no mistake, I'm going for a conviction. I intend to get it.
Many songs I haven't sung to you. So many kisses I didn't give you. Mommy is never, ever, ever gonna let anything happen to you again. Oh, my sweetheart.
Wouldn't you know this had happened on a night when we gave Heron and the rest of the staff off?
Did you call the police?
Yes, but the first call I made was to Delilah and Rafe.
Oh, and what about Kevin and Joey? Did Delilah wake them?
I could hear them screaming in the background when I told them their baby sister was back. She's bringing them over right now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did you hear that, Jessica? My sweetie pie? Your brothers are coming home, and now we're almost going to be a complete family again. Did you hear that?
What do you mean, almost?
Well, I'm sure there's one call you didn't make. Hi, baby.
Daddy's turn.
No. Now listen, Clint. You know how worried Asa has been. I think now that we're this happy, don't you think we could share that happiness?
Sweetheart, it's because we're happy that I chose not to call him. I don't want to spoil tonight's happiness by talking to Asa.
Darling.
No.
Darling, nothing. I'm not going to forget what I said to him, and I'm not going to forget the way I felt when I said it.
There is a time for forgiveness.
Yes, there is. And I hope you'll forgive me.
You? What?
For ever thinking that you could have reverted back to being Nicky Smith, honey.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that
No,
now.
I want to talk about it. I want to know that you forgive me for, not just for doubting you, but for making you go through the hypnosis and the questions.
Honey, there is absolutely nothing to forgive, all right? We both are under a terrible strain, and it's all in the past. That's where it's going to stay. Here, now take it.
Come here, little sweetie.
Hello. We go to your daddy.
Come here, my little girl.
Oh.
What a little sweetie.
You sweetie boy. Now we are all of us together, and I must say, I am so very fortunate and so very, very grateful to whoever it was who took you, that they responded to my appeal on television. Hello, beauty. Hello. Hello, you sweet thing. Yes.
Me, little Lynchkin.
Calm, calm. There she is, boys. She's home. There she is.
Can we touch her?
Sure, sure. She's home.
It's your sister Jessica.
She's home.
Dan, what are you doing here?
Wondering where the hell you've been. What are you all dressed up like that for?
And it's been a long day.
No kidding.
Yeah, I bet you're all keyed up about that trial tomorrow, aren't you? I think we should both just get some rest
Allison,
and to,
I asked you a question. Where have you been?
What, are you checking up on me now?
No, I was worried about you, damn it. And if you don't come clean with me, I'm going to worry about you even more.
Oh, I'm sorry, Danny. I know I told you I'd always be open with you. It's just that, well, it's so humiliating.
Your mother?
Yes. She was in no condition to drive home, so I drove her myself.
Why the get-up?
Well, she bought it for me. One of her drunken rages. She thought it would loosen me up. She was such a disaster yesterday, I thought I'd keep her happy and wear it. Listen, turn around and I'll take this tacky
Listen,
thing
Allison,
off.
just do me a favor, okay? Just sit down for a minute, okay? I have never seen you so hyped up. Come on.
I told you, it's my mother. She's driving me crazy. I mean, I don't think I can take it anymore.
You know what you need? A nice home-cooked meal, courtesy of my Aunt Wanda.
No,
huh?
I'm not
No
hungry.
arguments now. As soon as you taste Wanda's fried chicken, the world is going to be a better place.
Sure, why not? You know, I didn't realize it, but I'm absolutely famished. I don't know who's sweeter, your Aunt Wanda or you.
Maybe I should leave you two to talk.
No, dear, I don't mind you staying if Larry doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you. You see, Dorian, what I need is corroboration. Vince Robeson swore to Dan that he had actually killed Susan Bates. Now, unfortunately, we just have Dan's word for that.
How can I help you? I never even met Vince Robeson. How can I corroborate his confession?
Well, Robeson was pretty well known around Statesville Prison. I was hoping that maybe you could go up there and talk to some of the friends you made among the prisoners.
Wait a minute. You expect Dorian to go back to prison?
Let him finish.
It's the only place I can think of where we could find someone who could help prove that Robeson did kill Susan Bates.
Yeah, but she has, well, she may have friends there, but she has enemies as well, and I...
Diane, will you let me think about what Larry's asking?
Dorian, what is there to think about? You barely got out of there alive, and this time you might not be so lucky. And I really don't think that you can ask her to do this, take this kind of chance.
You're right. You're right. I don't even know how. Never thought about the risk you'd be taking. I really haven't been thinking about much other than how to keep my son out of Forget I asked.
No, I'm not going to forget it, Larry. But I think you're forgetting something, Diane. Aren't you forgetting what it was like being thrown in amongst a pack of wolves at Statesville Prison? I mean, you do remember that, don't you?
Of course I do.
Do you think that I want the same thing to happen to Dan Wolek, especially when I know that he's as innocent as you were?
Believe me, if we weren't talking about my son's life, I never would have asked you.
Oh, you certainly are having your share of emergencies tonight. Larry, you go take care of that one, and I'll take care of getting to Statesville.
I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'll ever be able to repay you, Dora. Thank you.
One, don't say anything. Two, how long have we known each other? You know I'll find some way for you to repay me. Goodbye. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Now I have to think of some way to get back into Statesville.
Dorian, do you realize what you're doing?
So close to finding out who the real killer is, Herb. Please just give me the time to put the final pieces together.
Proof.
Herb, I'm asking for a few days. That's so little. That's such a small trade-off for an innocent young man's life.
If you were sitting in my place, you'd be telling me the defense has had more than enough time to prepare its case.
48 hours, Herb.
I'm sorry, Judith. Your client is entitled to a prompt and speedy trial. He's going to get one starting tomorrow.
I just hope you don't regret your decision, Counselor.
You know, you might see this as a compliment. See, I happen to think that Dan will be most capably defended by you with or without a postponement. Till tomorrow.
Excuse me, Mrs. Sanders. You have a phone call.
Oh, thank you. Where can I,
The house phones are right over here.
Thank you.
Maria.
Oh, hi, Tom. What's up?
I thought you might want to hear the news before the whole town hears about it.
News? What news?
Bob, just come from police headquarters. Jessica Buchanan has been returned.
With it, I can't take an ounce of credit, but this has to be one of the happiest days of my life.
Thank you, Rafe. We feel pretty good about it ourselves.
I'm very grateful to Delilah that she brought the children right home, too.
Yeah, well, I just hope they let Jessica get some sleep up there.
Well, now, you can't blame him for wanting to keep touching her. I fight the same impulse myself.
Right.
Captain Moore, you haven't really said very much. Did you find something there?
No, ma'am, I didn't. And I want to apologize to you and Clint for not making my feelings known to both of you before. The truth of it is, nobody in the world could be happier than me, that is outside of yourselves, that your baby's back home tonight.
Thank you, Bill.
I just wish every case could be wrapped up this nicely, huh, Bill?
Yeah, well, it's not all wrapped up yet.
What do you mean, Captain?
What I mean is that it seems very peculiar the way your daughter was returned to you tonight.
Well, wait a minute, Captain. We don't care how she got back. The main thing is that she is back.
Hey, look, I can understand that, Clint, but I've got to care. It's my job. I'm going to have to ask you and Miss Buchanan a few questions.
Oh, but Captain Moore, Clint was right when he said we don't care how she came back. Point is, she is back.
Miss Buchanan, someone kidnapped your daughter. Now, the fact that they brought her back doesn't change things one iota. It's not too late to find the person who did it and nail him to the wall.
Please, Captain Moore, please, wouldn't it be possible just to leave the poor woman who did it alone?
You know it was a woman that took your child and a woman that brought her back.
We don't care how she got back or who brought her back. The point is she's back. Isn't that what you meant, honey?
I just feel very, very strongly that it was a woman, that's all. Look, I made an appeal on television, on Dorian Lord's television show this evening.
Yeah, but Vicky...
Just a second, please, Rafe. I tried to speak very directly to whoever it was who stole my Jessica. Woman to woman. And it worked. Captain, she's back, isn't she?
Okay.
She's got a point, Bill.
Okay. Let's say it was a woman who took her and a woman that brought her back. Why wouldn't you want her brought to justice?
Because I gave my word. Look, when I was on television, I promised that if the baby was brought back, there wouldn't be any questions. I really don't want to go back on my word.
Wait a minute, Vicky. After the telecast, did you receive any calls at the studio?
Yes. Somebody did call in, and she said she had my baby, but it was a hoax.
What? What?
Well, honey, I was going to tell you when I walked in here this evening, but Jessica was on the couch. I didn't have to. The point is, yes, there was a call that came into the studio, and I took it. It was a woman. She said she had my baby, and she said that I was to go and meet her at a restaurant called the Green Dragon.
Oh, wait a second.
This
Vicky, you
dive
didn't
outside
actually
of
go over
town?
to that
That's
place.
right. Yes, of course I went over to that place, but of course, when I got there was no baby and no kidnapper.
Wait a minute, that's where you've been all evening?
Yes.
Honey, why didn't you find me and take me with you?
Because she said I was supposed to come alone. Wait a minute. Now that I think of it, that phone call wasn't a hoax at all. The kidnapper obviously wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be home this evening so that she could bring Jessica back without being seen.
You know, Bill, that could be possible.
Please, Captain Moore. That's why I don't want you to pursue this any further, if at all possible. I mean, that woman kept her end of the bargain. Please, I feel like I have to keep mine.
Well, Mrs. Buchanan, you might have made a promise, but the Landview Police Department didn't. Now, crime's been committed here.
But it's over now.
All right, it's over for you, but what if it happens again? Suppose somebody else's child gets kidnapped. I mean, we might be dealing with a seriously disturbed person here. That's why I'm obligated to bring that person in.
All right, okay. If Clint and I decide not to press charges, would you still have to go ahead with it?
Vicky, we still have to pursue it wherever it leads.
Right. So why don't we go back over this part about the phone call you got at the television station?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you say we just put the questions to rest for a while? My wife has been through enough for one night. Don't you think, Captain?
The boys are not going to leave the nursery. They're just hovering over their little sister.
I guess I'd better go get them in bed, all three of them.
Oh, honey, why don't you let them have a little more time with her? Let them stay.
All right.
Excuse me, but I'm not finished here.
Voila!
Is it really true?
Yes, it's true.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy.
Said you were famished, Allison.
Oh, well, your Aunt Wanda, she sure packs a filling picnic basket.
You haven't touched a drop. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I told you, it's my mother. I think I just need a good night's rest and then I'll be fine in the morning.
Well, I hope so. I'm counting on you for tomorrow, you know.
I won't let you down. You know that, don't you?
Oh, I know you wouldn't mean to. It's just you're being called as a witness for the prosecution. They'll twist things, make it seem as though I was guilty.
Well, I'll just tell them the truth, Dan, that the only reason you went back to the back street was to get the charm off my bracelet. The jury will have to believe me.
There's something else you got to tell them. You got to make sure they know that we saw Jamie with Vince the first time we went to the back
Yeah,
street.
of course, I'll tell them that.
I know your mind's on other things right now.
Other things?
Your mother.
Oh, yeah, well, she has been particularly difficult these days.
Well, I don't mean to lean on you too hard, but you're my best hope, Allison. When you go up on that stand tomorrow, my future, my freedom, they'll all be right.
Clint, darling.
Hurry. Let's get out of here.
Allison.
What?
I was just telling that you're going to have to watch out for any kind of trick questions that they might ask you. I mean, if they make it seem that I had it in for Susan Bates, I'm finished.
Listen, Dan, let's listen to the radio.
Radio? Allison, I'm trying to talk to you about the trial.
I know. That's why I want to listen to the all-news channel, so we can hear if they say anything about the trial tomorrow.
Judith, thank you very much for agreeing to meet me here.
Dorian, before you say a word, if this is about Jamie, I really
I'm
don't
not
want
here to castigate your son. I'm here as a favor to Larry Wolek.
If you came here to check on the case, you can tell Larry that I asked Herb for a postponement. No luck. We're going ahead with the trial tomorrow.
Judith, if you had the evidence to back up Dan's claim that Vince Robeson did confess to Susan's murder, would that help you exonerate him?
Of course it would, but that kind of proof is hard to come by.
Maybe here in Landview. But it wouldn't be so hard in, let's say, Statesville Prison, would it?
Well, we know there's a connection between Statesville and the crack operation at the back street.
So isn't it logical to assume that there is a connection between Warden McFadden, Matron Spitz, Vince Robeson, and Susan's murder?
Yes, but that's mere conjecture. I mean, somebody'd have to get into Statesville and get all kinds of evidence. Dorian, do you realize what you're saying?
Yes, I do. I think I may be the only one who can help clear Dan. Now, will you help me get back into Statesville?
Well, I suppose I could get you in as an official observer or something.
No. I can't do you any good if I'm in the waiting room. I've got to be back on the cell block with the other inmates.
You have a lot of mortal enemies there. Warden McFadden and Matron Spitz are not going to forget who put them behind bars.
If you think I'm afraid of those barbarians, you're right.
You sure you want to go through with this?
Want to? No. Have to? Yes. And nobody's gonna talk me out of it.
Okay, can I go off? I can't wait to see her. Well, one, I think you're going to have to wait in line and take a number.
Actually, we all have to wait till Larry's finished his exam.
Okay.
Well, that's good, Mr. Buchanan, because...
Where is that baby?
I can't tell you how happy I am for both of you.
Thank you, Tom.
When Tom gave me the news, I just wanted to kiss everybody at the Vernon lobby. I am so thankful you two never gave up hope, because this is your reward.
Well, we weren't the only ones who never gave up hope and who believed always, huh?
Vicky's right. It was all our hopes and all our prayers that got Jessica back here.
Absolutely.
All right, all right. Kevin and Joy were kind enough to let me examine Jessica.
How is she doing?
Well, I hate to break the news to you, Vicky.
What?
She's a lot healthier now than she was when she left the hospital.
Oh,
She really is all right.
Yeah, she seems fine to me.
Oh, God, thank you, God. Thank you. The people who took her at least knew what they were doing a little bit.
But that's so strange, though. They stole Jessica, but they gave her so much love.
I think it's what I've suspected all along. She was taken by some very, I don't know, lonely, desperate woman, maybe somebody who lost a child of her own or just wanted one in the worst way. And can you imagine the pain it must have been for that woman to have to bring her back?
So it's safe to say that Vicky's appearance on television today did the trick.
Oh, obviously the kidnapper was deeply touched.
Well, speaking of kids, I better check on mine. So
Oh,
if you don't mind.
Larry, I'm sorry. In all the excitement, I forgot.
That's all right.
He's going to go through all that tomorrow. Would you tell him we're all with him, please?
Sure will. Thanks.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'm going to be there with you.
Thanks so much.
I'm going to be there tomorrow.
I'm telling you, Rafe. Now, this is your family. I don't care how you do it, but you better talk to him, because I got a few more questions to get answered here.
Tom. Oh, Tom, I owe you so much.
Come on, I haven't done a thing.
You were there at the studio today with a shoulder for me to cry on?
Oh, that's what friends are for, isn't it?
No, don't be so modest. And you've been there for me to lean on all through this whole ordeal. If I can ever repay you in any way...
Vicky, the fact that that baby is up there in that crib is enough payment.
Well, it worked. I guess you did it.
Well, what did I do?
Well, you were saying that I should go take a nap and have faith, and maybe I'd wake up and the baby would be back.
Oh, well, I was just trying to keep your hopes up.
Well, I guess it worked better than you'd even thought it did, because I went to bed and I dreamed about the baby, and it worked. She's home.
There's been no announcement from the Buchanan family, but police report baby Jessica Ann was returned unharmed.
I bet they're shooting fireworks off at Landfair tonight.
Details on the child's return, and there seem to be no clues to the identity of the kidnapper or kidnappers.
Oh, thank God. For the Buchanans, they finally got their baby back.
Yeah, well, maybe we should go over there and pay our respects, huh?
No. I mean, I don't want to stay here and listen to the radio in case they say something about your trial tomorrow.
I've had enough news for one night.
Aren't you happy for Vicky and Clint?
Well, yeah, but I just can't help but wonder what kind of a sick person would steal a baby and then bring it back without even thinking what it does to the parents and the rest of their family.
Well, maybe the person wasn't sick. I mean, maybe she... or he... You never know what kind of pressure that they might have been under.
What kind of pressure justifies stealing an innocent baby?
I don't know. I'm certainly not defending the person.
Sure sounds like it.
No, I just meant that you never know.
Allison, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bark at you. I guess I'm just feeling a little pressure myself. You know, with the trial, I'm angry at the whole world.
Nobody can blame you for feeling like that.
Still, I shouldn't take it out on you. Come on, let's take a drive. Maybe I can get my mind off things, huh?
No, I can't leave.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, to be honest with you, Dan, I am tired. I want to get some rest so that I'll be fresh for tomorrow. Don't you think you should, too?
Yeah, I guess. I might as well head home myself.
Danny, I want you to know that now that everything's over, I am going to focus all my energy on helping you win your case. And you will win. I just know it.
When you say it, I almost believe it. Good night, Allison.
Good night. Now listen, you drive safely, okay?
All righty.
This baffling crime, which has captured the sympathy of everyone in Landview. Little wonder, then, that tonight we all ask the same question. Who took Jessica Ann Buchanan? And why was she just as suddenly returned?
talked to Mrs. Sanders, didn't you?
I'll answer all your questions when I get back.
Back from where? Oh. You're going through with it. Mrs. Sanders is slipping you back into prison.
I can't help it. I'm the only one who can help Dan Wolek. I know it. Judith knows it.
And I know you're putting yourself in terrible danger.
No, I've got friends up in Statesville who'll protect me.
Like who?
Like Charlotte, like Roberta, formerly known as Tiny.
Charlotte and Tiny are not always going to be able to watch you while you're there.
Diane, I don't plan to linger, but I'm in a unique position. With all of the friends that I have up at Statesville, I can find out if Vince Robeson did indeed murder Susan Bates.
Uh-huh. And you can also get yourself killed.
You're being melodramatic.
I want to go with you.
No, you're being foolish.
No, I don't care. Now, I cannot let you go back into Statesville, not with Macon Spitz there as a prisoner.
I've handled Spitz before, haven't I?
Well, this is different.
Yes, it's different. It's different because she's now a prisoner, and I'm the one who can walk out of there a free woman.
Yes, if they don't carry you out of there first. Now, Dorian, if we go together...
I love you for volunteering. This is something that I have to do on my own.
Dorian, please.
Diane, I only came home to change my clothes. All that you can do at this point is wish me luck.
Promise me you will take care of yourself.
That is a promise that I can keep. Trust me, I always land on my feet.
Mrs. Logan, I wouldn't leave Sammy with her for too long now. You won't be late, will you?
Well, it all depends on Captain Moore.
Delilah, I want to thank you for everything, but especially for bringing the children home tonight.
Oh, my
Thank you.
pleasure. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Honey, I'll be home as soon as I can,
Oh,
okay?
she is such a little angel. She is so beautiful. It's like nothing happened.
Well, nothing has. That's the way I'm going to look at it, like nothing has happened.
Okay.
I mean, our children are tucked away safely in bed. Our friends and our family, everything is like nothing has happened.
Well, and it's the way that it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of tucked into bed, I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted, right?
I'm on my way home. Can I drop you off?
Yes, of course, and Vicky, you need it.
No, if I need you, I'll call. Oh, Wanda, thank you. Thank you, not just for tonight, but for everything the last couple of weeks. Thank you.
Oh, please, and you give Jessica big kisses and
Yeah,
big
I will.
hugs, and especially a big one for me.
Auntie,
You bet.
you bet I will.
All right.
God bless.
Good night. Thanks again, Delilah. Good night, Wanda.
Bye.
I think we'll run a headline about yay high.
Questions. I'm just saying we put them aside for tonight. Let Vicky and Clint enjoy this one night with their baby in peace, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to do that, Rafe, but I intend to find this kidnapper while the trail is still warm. And that means asking Vicky some tough questions.
Well, now, don't you two look happy, huh?
And aren't you perceptive for a newspaper man? Yeah, I think it's a safe bet that you can say we are happy, right, sweetheart?
Well, Maria, I suppose it's time for us to make our exit, huh?
I don't blame you for wanting to help your son, but this isn't helping.
Herb, you're a fine lawyer, and I would never ask you to do anything that might be unethical. But I do ask you, as one father to another, if you have a shred of doubt about Dan's guilt, drop the case.
Just went through this with Judith Sanders. Out of my hands, Larry. The case is on the docket. I have to proceed.
Hey, what's this rush to judgment? Can't you just accept a postponement, especially in view of this new lead?
What lead? I pressed Judith on that, and she admitted there isn't any.
But that's before this thing happened, before Dorian's decision.
Dorian, how'd she get involved?
She's agreed to go up to Statesville prison to see if there's someone up there who might confirm the confession that Vince Robeson made.
What? Wait, did you put her up to this?
Oh, it was her decision.
Decision? Hell, it's madness. You have any idea the danger you're putting her in?
Going.
Calling Warden Perkins. Let's just hope it's not too late to stop.
Quite an occasion, huh?
And how? Where are Rafe and Captain Moore?
They wanted to check the grounds, honey, before they continued with any questioning.
Oh, I thought maybe they'd gone upstairs to the nursery to question Jessica. After all, she's the only one who can give them the answers they want.
Sweetheart, they're only doing
Their job, I know that. I just wish they didn't have to ask me all those questions. Honey, I promised on television that if the baby were returned, I would not pursue the matter. I wish the police could be satisfied with that. She was taken, yes, but she has been returned. It is over.
Why don't you go upstairs and go to bed? When they come in, I'll talk to them.
No, No, that's not going to do any good. They're still going to want to talk to me. No, I might as well do it now and get it over with. Actually, I think I would prefer if we could do it tomorrow.
Good. Well, after tonight, I promise you that I won't let them question you any.
I kind of wonder how she's feeling right now.
Who?
Huh? The woman, or whoever it was who took our baby. She must have loved Jessica very much. I mean, Larry said she was treated with kindness and with love.
That's not hard to do. She's only the most beautiful, lovable baby on this whole planet.
Tell me about it. What kind of a person would do that? What kind of a person would be able to steal a baby and then treat it so lovingly?
Someone who needs help.
Well, yes, obviously. A lot of help. I'm just wondering how she must be feeling, that's all.
She probably misses Jessica very much. She's probably gratified that she had the courage to return. And she's probably very thankful that she didn't get caught doing it.
Whoever she is, she must be very clever, don't you think?
Well, honey, there may have been more than one person involved in this thing, you know? It still beats hell out of me how they got in and out of here so easily.
Makes me feel very vulnerable.
Which is probably a good reason why we should let the police go ahead and do their job.
No, the circle is complete now. Jessica is home. I really hope they don't find this person at all, because I'm sure that she wants the nightmare to be over just as much as I do. What's that for?
That is for the most compassionate, sensitive, caring woman that I know.
No, I just want this whole thing to be over so that we can go back to leading normal lives. You and me and our 3 wonderful, magical children. And our pretty house.
We're almost there, Em. After tonight, I promise you, we will never have to confront this situation again.
Well, thank you. I tried. I got myself dressed. Wait, why are you all up at this hour?
Well, they gave us a special midnight break because of your homecoming.
Things have changed, haven't they?
Mercy. I love that perfume, Dory.
Do you? Have you been a good girl lately? You know, Santa Claus is going to come early this year for you. Here. That's what it's called. Indecent exposure.
So that's the great Dorian Lord, huh?
That witch. She's the one who put me in here.
You want to give her a proper welcome?
Too hard.
I told you she was coming, Tiny. Look, she's really here. It's not a trick. Hey, Dorian! It's so good to see you. Oh, Roberta, hello.
Remembered.
Of course I remember.
I remember all of you. You're my truest and bestest friends in the whole world. You know, since you left, she's been talking nonstop. They moved her in your old cell here with me, so I'm sort of her speech teacher, you know?
Charlotte, friend number 2. Dorian, always friend number 1.
You'll always be number 1 with me, too, Roberta.
You know, since the word spread that you were coming, the guards had to open all the cells so we could give you a proper hello. Otherwise, there would have been a riot. Now, please, I promise
just the warden who gave me special permission to be here, that I wouldn't cause any trouble. Do you believe that?
Don't worry. Trouble find you.
Maybe you ought to better stay close, everybody. Yeah. I might need some help.
Well, gentlemen, if you're finished, Jessica's mother and father can stand to get some well-earned sleep.
Well, I'm sorry, folks, but I got a few more questions. And Mrs. Buchanan, you're the only one that can answer them.
Rafe, I really had hoped we could do this tomorrow. Please?
I'm afraid not, Vicky.
Will you fellas stop playing it by the book? Now, our baby is home, she is safe, and she's upstairs, happy, asleep in her crib. Now, what else really matters?
Finding the kidnapper, stopping him or her before another baby's taken. Now, I'd like to go over this now, Mrs. Buchanan, while the details of this evening are still fresh in your mind.
Last. Coming.
Mom. You were expecting somebody else at this hour of the night?
No.
Where?
Mom, it's very late.
The baby's gone, isn't she?
Yes. I did just what I told you I was going to do. I took her to the lawyer. Look, Mom, I don't want to talk about this right now. I think you should just go home and we'll talk in the morning, okay?
We're going to talk about it right this minute, and I want the truth. Little Nancy isn't Nancy at all, is she?
What?
No more lies. That isn't your baby at all, is it?
Nancy is my baby. Mom, we've been through all of this already.
One lie after another. What have you done with that baby?
I put her up for adoption. You were here yesterday when the lawyer phoned.
Oh, yes, I heard the phone call. But that doesn't prove it was the lawyer, and it doesn't prove that the baby was adopted.
And all of a sudden, my word's not good enough.
Not anymore.
I haven't lied to you.
You know, I had an inkling earlier in the day when I was here, and I said to myself, oh, no, not my little girl. Why, Allison wouldn't lie to her mother.
I didn't.
Well, a funny thing happened. You know, I got in the car to drive home, and all of a sudden I turned on the radio, and there was a news bulletin. And it said that the Buchanan baby has been returned.
I heard the same thing. I was very relieved.
I'll bet you were.
What are you staring at me for?
That baby you brought me wasn't yours. That was Clint and Vicky Buchanan's baby.
You don't know what you're saying.
Oh, I know what I'm saying, and I know what you've done.
Nancy is my baby. Don't you think I know my own daughter?
Stop it. I'm just sick of your lying. You kidnapped that baby, didn't you?
You know, Captain Moore, if anything, my mind is going to be a lot fresher after a good night's sleep.
Yeah, so why don't you stop by in the morning, say about 11 o'clock,
Clint,
11:30?
I bent over backwards not to make this tougher on you and Vicky, but we still got a job to do.
I have a promise that I would like to keep. Look, it was my appeal on Dorian's television show this evening that led to Jessica's return, right?
Certainly
Yes?
seems that way.
Okay. Well, the woman did exactly as I asked. She brought my baby home, but she did that knowing full well that I was not going to press charges, and I really don't want to go back on my word.
Now, Mrs. Buchanan, nobody's asking you to press charges, but a felony's been committed here, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania intends to bring that person to justice.
Bill's got a point, honey. I mean, if you do go ahead and tell him what you know, you won't really be breaking your promise.
And your information could help us find the person that took Jessica before another child is abducted. And if the kidnapper is really as desperate as you say, it might be the only way for her to get help.
Well, okay, if you put it that way, I guess I should tell you the little that I know.
Good. Why don't we start with that phone call you got when you were at the TV station?
All right, I told you a woman called, said she had my baby. Said that I was to meet her in a parking lot that was behind a drugstore that was next to the Green Dragon restaurant. I drove out there alone. I got there was no drugstore and no baby.
Yes, the Green Dragon, you know, I'm trying to remember something about that place. Didn't we get a tip about The parking lot next door being some kind of drug drop-off or something?
Yeah, you're right. That's the place. Mrs. Buchanan, do you remember anything about the voice you heard?
The voice? Never forget that as long as I live. It was a woman's voice. She had an English accent, and she was sort of whispering, talking very low like that. And she...
What is it?
Oh.
You remember something else?
Yes, yes. I don't know that it's of any help, but the whole time she was talking to me, she seemed constantly to be hesitating, as if she was reading her instructions to me. No, not reading, as if she was being coached, being told what to say to me.
We had enough of you before. Why, if it isn't Matron Spitz? Or should I say former Matron Spitz? Matron, get her out of here! Oh, I love it. Music to my ears, listening to her shout, guard, matron. Oh, there is some justice in this world.
Word! Don't get out of here. I am going to have you thrown out.
By whom, your former friend, the ex-warden? I know, he's next door in the men's facility, wearing a lovely uniform, just, well, something like that one. Hope his looks better on it. I got special permission to be here by the new warden? Yes, Warden Perkins. He told me that I could come here and visit my very special friends. You certainly aren't going to begrudge me that, are you? Come on, she's not worth it. By the way, was Vince Robeson worth it?
Just you shut up about Vince
Or what?
or I will wipe that stinking grin right off your face.
Want to fight? Start with me.
Get out of my way, Tiny. This is between her and me.
My name is Roberta.
Leave it, will you? I mean, you're gonna end up in solitary. Yeah, I think you better listen to the advice, Spitz, of your one and apparently only friend.
Right. Okay. All right, Dorian. For now.
Yeah. See you later, baby. Yeah. Ooh, thank you, Roberta.
You stood up to her. Least I could do was knock her down.
I hope it won't ever come to that. Yeah.
I hope it does.
Listen, everybody, would you excuse us? I have to talk to Charlotte and Roberta, all right? For just a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah, we're with you, Tori.
No, how could I forget about that? Listen, my old dad, I know that you've got a few scores you want to settle with, Spitz, yeah, but, you know, just because she doesn't have her old job doesn't mean that she's completely without, power. She can be dangerous. Gosh, Spitz exactly the same lumps, everything.
Dorian, you didn't come here just because you missed us. What's the real reason?
You're exactly the same, Charlotte. Blunt as ever.
There's something you want to tell us. We're your friends.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, because I need some information, Dad. I've got a friend, and he's being unjustly accused of murder. I want you to give me some information about who really murdered Susan Bates.
Susan, huh? She made a lot of enemies in here.
Including me.
I know that, Roberta. But do you have any information at all about who might have killed her?
What kind of information would we have locked up in a dump like this?
Oh, come on. Don't try to sell me that story. I know that the prison grapevine is as fast as the evening news and more reliable.
Yeah, well, we don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to her death. Nothing.
What about you, Roberta?
Spitz.
Spitz? Spitz? What do you mean? Why? What are you talking about?
Spitz took Susan out to the back street the night she was killed.
Then Spitz probably knows who murdered Susan.
You said it. I didn't. Listen, babe, I know that they mentioned my name. I've got to listen. I've got to find out what they're saying about me.
Somewhere.
Oh, Mom. I was just gonna go for a drive.
You're worried too, huh?
Worried?
About tomorrow and the trial. I know that you and Dan have had your ups and downs, but you must be very anxious for him.
Yeah, well, I guess I am.
Listen, there's something I want you to know. I have been talking a lot about families and being together, and,
Mother and son and all that?
yes, and there are times when I have to be a lawyer first and a mother second, and tomorrow, I'm afraid, is one of those times. I may have to put you on the stand to
Mom.
testify. And I look, if I could avoid it, I would. I really don't look forward to questioning my own son, but there's been no breakthrough, and if I don't get evidence...
Mom, I understand. I do, really. You're the best lawyer the state has got. And if you need my testimony to win Dan's case...
Oh, Jamie, you don't know what that means to me. It shouldn't be too difficult for you. You've told me everything.
Still, I hate the thought of standing up under oath and dragging the family name through all the muck. But if that's what it takes to help Dan, then...
I wish it could be otherwise. What I really hate is that we had to come to this, to get even close together.
Yeah,
I hope when this is over, there's no more distance between us.
I hope so too, Mom.
I mean, you and Dorian have barely been on speaking terms.
Well, that gives you some idea what I had to go through to ask her this favor.
And she's willing to do it?
Well, she's on her way to Statesville right now. Now, I know it's late, Dan, and you need your rest for tomorrow.
Look, Dad, I don't plan on getting any sleep, so just fire away.
Okay. Dan, I need to know everything. I mean everything about your involvement in Susan Bates' death.
Dad, when have I ever lied to you?
No, it's not that I don't trust you, Dan. It's just that Dorian is facing a lot. She's risking maybe her life. I don't know. I want to know what surprises she might have in store for her.
Dad, you have my word. I have kept nothing from you. And as far as I know, there will be no surprises in court tomorrow.
That's good enough for me.
I hope it's good enough to get me acquitted. Because even if Dorian does find something, I'm grateful that she's trying. I doubt it's going to change anything.
Well, don't think that way.
I would just feel better if I knew Allison wasn't a witness for the prosecution.
Dan, even if she was a witness for the defense, it wouldn't make that much difference. She's got one strike against her to begin with. It wasn't so long ago she was under the influence of this Mitch Lawrence. I have great faith in the jury system and the jury, but they have to learn all the facts to the case.
They will, once Mrs. Sanders gets me on the stand.
Yeah, well, it isn't entirely up to you, Dan. We got to find someone else who can testify that Vince Robeson wasn't this real estate agent, someone who can back up your claim that it was Vince Robeson who killed Susan Bates.
I don't know anyone else who can do that. The only other person who saw Vince besides Allison and me was Jamie.
Right.
And he swears that he was tricked by Vince. As far as he's concerned, the guy just took him down to the back street to show him the property.
And you believe him?
Why would Jamie lie?
I don't know, Dan, but there's something about his explanation. It just doesn't work for me. So I guess we'll just have to wait to see what he says tomorrow.
Well, who says he's going to testify?
What are you talking about? He's your crucial witness.
Yeah, but Mrs. Sanders hasn't decided whether or not she's going to subpoena him.
She hasn't subpoenaed? What the hell is she trying to do? Is she defending you or protecting her son?
Look, Dad, Jamie said he would testify if it was necessary.
Oh, he did?
Dad, where are you going?
Have a little chat with Jamie Sanders.
Well, I want to be there when you do.
No, this is something I want to do by myself. I'm going to get some answers out of that kid, whether he likes it or not.
I can't believe you're accusing me of kidnapping a baby.
The day that the Buchanan baby was stolen, you arrived on my doorstep with a baby.
It's just a coincidence.
Oh, and was it a coincidence that your baby was adopted the same day that the Buchanan baby was returned?
Yes. And I'm sorry you have such a hard time believing that.
Well, it's not only hard, Allison. It is impossible. You never gave birth to a baby in a hotel room. You were never pregnant at all, were you? It was just a lie to cover up the fact that you stole a baby.
Yes, I did steal the Buchanan baby. Are you happy now?
No. No, I just hope that it wasn't true, that's all.
Oh, please, Mom, just let me explain.
Oh, Allison, why? How could you so deliberately hurt people?
I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I tried to stop myself, but I couldn't. He made me do it.
Who?
Mitch Lawrence. He made me kidnap the baby.
Allison, can't you tell the truth even now?
Oh, Mom, I am telling the truth.
Mitch Lawrence is dead. You can't blame him for this.
Mind control, hypnosis. He brainwashed me. I had to obey him.
Had to.
Well, that's it, Mom. You wanted to know what was going on. And if you can't believe it or you don't want to...
I'm trying.
I know, it's far-fetched, it's outrageous, but it's the truth. And that's why I didn't return the baby sooner. Because they'd think that I was responsible, not him.
Well, you can't blame anyone for doubting this story.
No, I guess I can't pretend to even understand it myself. But the one thing I do know is that Mitch Lawrence tried so hard to destroy me while he was alive. And now that he's dead, he's finally succeeded.
Oh, darling. I don't know anything about hypnosis. I don't know anything about mind control, but I do think I know you, and I don't think you could have conceived this crime by yourself, and I don't think you could have carried it through by yourself. Somebody helped you, didn't they? Who helped you do this terrible thing?
Nobody helped me steal the baby, but somebody did help me return her to Landfair. I think it's better if you don't know the name.
Better. Would be better if it hadn't happened at all.
Oh, God, Mom. They're gonna catch me. The police are gonna catch me, and they're gonna put me in prison.
Stop it.
Well, it's true, Mom. That's what I've been afraid of ever since this whole nightmare started. That's why I've had to keep lying to hide everything. I've had no choice.
Let me ask you a question. Did anybody see you return the baby?
Well, it wouldn't matter because I was wearing this disguise that Mitch had given me.
What disguise?
I'll show you.
That tacky dress you had on before? And a wig? Why are you keeping these things? Why didn't you burn them?
Burn them where? What am I going to do? Go make a bonfire in Landview Park at midnight?
You can't keep them in your suitcase.
Oh, please don't yell at me. I am not some kind of criminal expert. They don't suspect me. If I just lay low, it'll all go away. I know it will.
Oh, darling, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Please, Mom. Say that you know I didn't mean it. Tell me you understand.
I don't think I'll ever understand, but I do believe that you never meant to hurt the baby or her parents.
I didn't. I swear I didn't.
Let me ask you something. Has Mitch Lawrence programmed you to do anything else?
No, I'm free of him. And I will never, ever hurt anybody again.
What did you do exactly after you put down the phone?
I made some sort of an excuse to Wanda because she was standing right there and she knew that something was wrong.
Then you lied to her.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Well, yes, absolutely, that's true. I lied to her. I didn't want her to worry, and I certainly couldn't have her going and calling Clint. The lady on the phone specifically said I was to come alone.
Okay, so then you drove to the Green Dragon.
Yes, and it took me a good deal longer to get there than I thought it would.
Or did you stop for gas or get something to eat?
What Bill means, honey.
Honey, I know what Bill means. I know what he means. He means, did I stop somewhere so that he could check and see if anybody saw me? No, Captain Moore. I didn't stop. I was in a hurry to see my baby. I didn't stop, and I wasn't seen.
Okay, Vicky, just tell us what happened when you got to the Green Dragon.
All right, my instructions were to go to this parking lot behind a drugstore next door to the Green Dragon. Well, I got there. There was no drugstore. I pulled in, and...
What?
There was somebody who saw me. There was a young man in the parking lot. I just remembered that. He was just standing there. And I drove in. I asked him if that was the Green Dragon restaurant. He said yes. And then I said, well, maybe wasn't there another drugstore next to another restaurant nearby somewhere?
Well, what did he say?
Oh, he said, no, not that he knew of, but that he really couldn't help me. He was very, very nervous, and he left right away.
So this young man was the only person you saw in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Can you describe him?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was dark. But he was about medium height. He had, I think, brown hair. He looked to be in his middle 20s. What difference does that make? He didn't have anything to do with the kidnapping.
Let's jump forward a little bit. After the baby was returned, you say you came in, you saw your husband asleep on the couch, and the baby's in a bassinet right next to him.
Yes, incredible as that may seem, yes.
Yeah, well, the really incredible thing is how the kidnapper managed to get into the house without being seen.
I can explain that, Rafe. We had given the servants the night off in case the kidnapper heard and responded to Vicky's televised appeal.
But you say we. Does that mean that you instructed the servants to take the night off?
Well...
No. It was my decision, Captain. Clint knew nothing about it until after the fact. I decided I didn't want the servants in the house in case they frightened the kidnapper away. And you have to admit, my plan worked.
I admit it.
Okay. That's why I don't see any point in pursuing this any further. Jessica is safe at home with us. And that's all we asked for.
Sweetheart, I know you made a promise to the kidnapper on the air. But I gotta tell you, it still galls hell out of me that somebody's gonna get away scot-free with this.
Clint, I promised.
I know you did.
Well, Clint, if you have an idea who the kidnapper could be...
I wish I did, Rafe, but I don't.
Excuse me. Probably more well-wishers. Hello? Briggs! Oh, yes, thank you. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, thank you very much. Well, tell everybody else we said thank you, too. Apparently, everyone down at the Banner sends their love, and they want to throw a party for Jessica.
Well, they'll throw a party for just about anything, including
What's with all the questions, Bill? I don't get it.
Remember, we got a call on the way over here. We got a report.
Yeah, well, if we believe every call that comes into the station house.
No. This one came in from a squad car that was cruising in the neighborhood. We spotted a red-headed woman in the street.
Hey, keep it down. It may not be a damn thing.
That's low. You think we can arrange
Maybe.
that?
But it also could mean that Vicky Smith was the one that returned the baby.
Oh, Bill, I'm begging you. Just leave it alone for tonight, huh? Can they just have this one night in peace?
Newspaper office and do a little party.
I don't know how you do it, Dorian. Midnight snacks are very hard to come by around here.
How do you think I brought it in from the outside? Got the warden's special permission. However, these just desserts have a price. I do need some more information from you.
First we eat, then we talk.
You said it.
All right. Look, I have a time problem, though. I don't know how long the warden's going to let me stay. And I've got to have proof about Matron Spitz's involvement in Susan Bates's murder. Now, can you give me any more information?
Yeah, well, you're the one that's out there in the real world. We're dying for information in here. About Diane, for instance. How's she doing?
She's fine. She's living in my guest room.
Yeah, you took her in.
Yeah.
Dorian, you're the best.
Amen. And what about Jeannie? She's staying with you too, huh?
No. No, as a matter of fact, I wish I knew where Jeannie was.
Trouble?
Could be. Could be. See, she suddenly announced that she was going to Hawaii, and then I haven't been able to locate her. It's as if she just fell off the face of the earth.
Jeannie always loved travel, adventure.
I think she may have gotten more adventure than she bargained for. So if either one of you hears from her, will you please let me know? Because I've got some questions I want to ask her.
Dorian, are you somehow thinking that Jeannie's vanishing act has something to do with Susan's death? Huh?
You know how crazy I was about Jeannie. I'm not saying that she was directly involved in Susan's murder. I think, though, that she's been blackmailed, threatened, or bought off by somebody who is involved in the murder. That's a fact. Oh, now wait. Here we go. Take a look at this boy. His name is Dan Wolek. You see in the pictures, he's got great blue eyes and blonde hair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Delicious.
She means the pie, not the guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did you happen to see, though, this young man at the crack factory